Yo, what's good? What's good, everybody? So the Knicks looked good last night. The Knicks looked really good last night. Almost to a point where some Randall haters could eat their words, right? Almost to a point where Randall haters can eat their words. You know what I mean? I know there are people like, you got to play Obi, so now you got to trade. That means you got to trade Randall. You know, you got to trade Randall. You got to get something for him while his stock is high. Well, what about now? What about now? How y'all feel now? You want to eat those words? Yeah, no, whatever. Right? RJ Barrett made a return to the 20-point club last night. Hey, jeez, excuse me. There was a lot of stuff going on. Stephen Fox was good. Bodega Wi-Fi was good. What's good? What's good? A lot of Randall haters are eating their words this morning. Right? Let me do this real quick. Bodega Wi-Fi, what's good? L Jordan, what's good? What's good? What's good? Off to a slow start this morning. I apologize. I will get that energy up. Maybe once I hit the theme song, that energy will get going. Jerome Drury says, big win, huge performance by Julius. Yep. The Bodega Wi-Fi. Elon M says Randall went crazy for show. For show. Jeremy Nussbaum says salute to Uncle Freezy. Salute, salute. Salute. I'm glad y'all are here. Corey Lee says peace to Uncle Freezy. Peace, peace. Is that? Yep. Chop low. What's good? Alfonso, who care? Say good day. Hey, Super Show yesterday morning. Go Knicks. Right. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. And I'll be real with you. Yesterday's show, when I told Sam no about the debate league, I meant that. No, Sam Russell. No, Ron Cleveland. Y'all getting all in that heat of the moment thing, and like, you know. Russell McCall says best Nick chat, Uncle Freezy. Hey, we appreciate that. You know, we try hard. We try hard, man. Ro Brown says good morning, salute to everyone. Nice one yesterday. We still need a big. Yep. Yeah. We can be in fourth, right? Yep. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. So, Randall haters, where are y'all today? I need Randall haters to continue to Randall hate in public today. I need y'all to continue y'all vicious. Joe Madden. Joe Madden. Where's Joe Madden at? Anybody seen Joe Madden? Joe Madden is like, I'll trade Randall right now for whatever I can get for him so that Obi can play. State of the New York Knicks podcast. What do you say this morning? What do you say this morning about Julius Randle? I'm calling people by names. Wow. I'm calling people by name. Don't usually do that. Right? All right. Top Notch T, what's good? Yeah, the Randall haters were what's the word I'm looking for? The Randall hate was so weird. It felt awkward, man, to me. To me, it felt awkward in a way. And the reason I guess it felt that way is because I'm not a fan of just trading a guy for the sake of trading a guy. Like, you got to have a purpose. Right? Here's one. Knicks are in the lottery without Randall. Yep. Philip Fernandez, the Randall haters are hiding under a rock. Them boys balled out last night. That closing unit was something special. Hey, I'm telling you, I called it. I'm telling you. What was it? What was the record we called? I called 42 and 30. Right? That's what I called. I called 42 or 30. Man, excuse me, these yawns, man. All right. Let me go to profile. All right. Let me look at. So the last Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll, the question was, why is RJ Barrett still starting? 26% of you said continuity. 70% of you said he's only slumping. And 3% of you said Tibbs loves him. Right? So again, it appears that the New York Knicks fans are right. That RJ Barrett was only slumping, and he appears to be back. Right? You guys called it. You said he appears to be slumping only, right? And you guys are right. Yeah. So what's good, everybody? Y'all feeling as good as I am about after this this Knicks W against the Hawks? Will Baggs, what's good? Let me find out something. I just want to stoke the fires a little bit. I want to stoke the fire a little teeny bit, right? Just give me a second. All right, so Wednesday, the Knicks are at the Orlando Magic, right? And the Orlando Magic are 10 and 18. The Orlando Magic are 10 and 18, right? The Knicks, if they beat Orlando, can be 15 and 15. They could be 15 and 15 after 30 games. Who saw that coming? Raise your hand if you saw that coming. Y'all lying. Put your hands down. Put your hands down. Put your hands down. Don't start lying like we don't see you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Now for real, who saw the Knicks as a 500 team after 30 games? Raise your hand if you thought the Knicks were going to be 15-15 after 30 games. Right. Let me count the room. Raise your hand if you thought the Knicks were going to be 15-15 after 30 games. Right? Exactly. None of y'all. Right? Because you saw that Vegas predicted that the Knicks would win 22.5 games. And some of y'all were like, I don't even know if the Knicks are going to win 22 games. Guess what? We have tape. We have tape that we could go by and rewind it. Some of y'all were legit like, this is a lottery team and blah, blah, blah. And listen, I'm not counting the Orlando game. You never count a chicken before it hatches, right? Right? You never count a chicken before it hatches. But at the same time, I'm mighty confident. I'm confident that our team versus Orlando, I kind of like our chances. But I'm not counting it, though. Because one thing young teams will do is be inconsistent. Young teams will be inconsistent. I need an energy boost, y'all. I need an energy boost. I'm drinking water. So here's what I'm going to do to get my energy up.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speak in the God.
Yo, that is a great energy booster right there. So shout out to Dan Johns for the dope intro. Divine Sons. That is a song called Invisible People off Divine Sons' latest album, The Beautiful. That does get you going. That does get me going, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. It does get me going, right? So let me throw my invite in the chat. All right, there we go. Yesterday, hey, the Knicks morning drive yesterday was dope. Hey, the new Knicks in the building. What's good? Evergreen G, what's good? What's good? 0.5. I see you. Danny Lee, what's good? L. Jordan is on fire this morning, y'all. We're finally starting to beat teams. We should. I'm counting a W. No, don't do it. Don't count the W. Don't count the W. Let's not count the chickens before they hatch. You know? Let's not count the chickens before they hatch. Let's be patient. Evergreen G, good morning, man. How you doing?
Peace and love, King. How you?
I'm great, man. I'm a little tired, man. A little bit behind on some sleep. I'm gonna get a lot of it in a little while. But every time I hear, hear from y'all and get together with y'all, man, it kind of motivates me, man. Gets me up. Maverick Mach 5 says, "What's up, Freezy? Excellent game last night." Yup. And yo, I meant to say this too. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Y'all make sure you subscribe, like the live stream, join the virtual chat, join the video chat, turn your native notifications on, make sure it's that dark bell, share on social media. Make sure you comment in the in the comment section below in the replay boxes too, you know. And also if you want to contribute to the show, to help us grow, get better equipment and all that stuff. You don't only have to do super chat. You can also do the $ Lawrence Tears using Cash App. The Ghetto Intellect told me if I didn't say that, man, he was gonna come to my house and wrestle me to the ground. So how you doing?
For all the people that's interested in doing that and supporting the channel, just know that the Cash App is the Cash App would be better because YouTube on Super Chats takes a huge percentage of the cash that you put into the system to donate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just Cash App will be a lot better. But nonetheless, I'm sure I'm speaking for Freezy in a positive manner with this. All donations would be accepted. All right, that's not all donate, but support. Listen, this is what I've come to see with this show in comparison to all of the other shows that are out is that this one has the most diehard cultish Nick fans. And I don't when I say cultish, I don't want that to sound like it's a negative way. I mean like the people that live, eat, breathe, poop, wake up and think about Knicks, go home and think about Knicks, and then stay up late in the middle of the night after a loss, stewing about Knicks. This is the channel that these guys come to,
Yep.
that those people come to. So if you know people like that, such as myself, that are obsessed, I got Knicks flags, I got Knicks car seats, I got Knicks masks, I got
Yep.
Knicks
Cozies.
I probably should have Knicks koozies. I don't have, obviously I don't drink and drive, but I keep my change in here. Like it's Knicks or nothing with me, and people in my family are like, he needs to let that Knicks stuff go at some point in time. But now that we winning, everybody, you see all these Knicks fans coming out of the woodwork. Those woodwork
Yes.
Knicks fans, this is not the place for you. Cause I will call you out quicker than you can say Knicks. Quicker than the nick of time, I will call you out.
Right.
So the people on this channel are those people that are like me, that are, you look at all these other woodwork Knicks fans out the corner of your eye, like, bro, you wasn't with us when you wasn't with us in the Marbury days. You
wasn't here when Cole Aldridge was scoring points for the other team. You know what I'm saying? You weren't here when Cole Aldridge kept tipping the ball into the other team basket. You wasn't here then.
You wasn't here when we got Steve Francis and the world thought that we were about to change the game, and then he got hurt, and then we got Tracy McGrady the next year, and then he got hurt. You wasn't here. I say that to Knicks fans. They're like, wait, we had Tracy McGrady? Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. So for those fans that are like us in that regard, this is for you. And if you know people that are like that, you bring them to this show, and this is just this is the real social club where you can. You know what I equate this to? All right, for all the people on the show that are military vets, such as myself and such as Uncle Freezy here.
54 Bravo, chemical operations specialist.
Right. So when you have conversations with people about military stuff that aren't in the military, it doesn't feel the same, right? Would you agree with that? But when you find out that you met someone, that's a vet, and then you find out that that vet was in your unit 5 years before you were there or something like that.
Right.
You automatically have this level of relation. So for the Knicks fans, for the people that find out that, oh wow, you're a Knicks fan too, and then you start having a conversation and you realize, oh damn, this dude is a real Knicks fan, like I'm a real Knicks fan. And then you guys start engaging and talking about history of the Knicks and start talking about the pain that it is to be a Knicks fan over the last 15 years. Then you have this level of respect for them. That's all the people that's on this show. But when you start talking to those other Knicks fans that are like, you hold a conversation with them and they're like, oh yeah, that Quickly boy is good, right? And it's like, yeah, and or when you start talking to them and you start telling them like, oh, we got these players, they look promising, and they're like, we got those players?
Right.
Like, oh man, you ain't no real Knicks fan. Get out of here. You know what I mean? But you don't want to discourage them.
Casual.
Right.
Because
but I think
franchise out. You know what I mean? As far as revenue, so you don't want to discourage them. But it's like, wait, he's all right, but he's not real.
Right. With veterans, with veterans, like when you hear the word, yeah, man, I PCS'd in such and such time. And you like, yo, I ain't heard the word PCS in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or like for some of us, when somebody says, yo, I remember the first time I heard outgoing personnel stand up. And you like, oh, Fort Benning, Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And when you hear the words like road march, you're like, okay, yeah. You hear words like pack. You're like, pack, wow. Yeah.
So when we hear phrases, like if you were watching a game yesterday and they say, like, the real Knicks fan knew since.
You muted. Hey, you muted, man.
It's David Lee. You know what I mean? The real Knicks fan knows that everybody else is like bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in. You know what I mean? This is a place for real Knicks fans, so make sure y'all come in and support. You know what I mean?
Right.
Peace and love to everybody. I'm about it.
Hey, you dipping right before I get Free Keith riled up. I was just about to get Free Keith riled up with something. Just about to
get
say.
Free Keith riled up. Wait, what you trying to get him riled up for? I'm already.
He does this. He does this all the time. I don't know why. I don't know why we coming off a good win. Like I got to get riled up. Like I don't understand it.
Because
I can't be happy. Huh?
No, saying like just let me be happy, yo.
Nah, man. This makes me laugh, man. This I gotta say this thing because it makes me laugh, right? I'm gonna say this, and I know it's gonna set Free Keith off, but I think he is going to enjoy going off, right? So here's what I'm gonna say to Free Keith. I think I enjoy watching Elfrid Payton now. I legit think I enjoy watching Elfrid Payton play right now.
Hold on, I'm looking for the pigs flying.
All right, I'll say this. Before I go, I will second that notion only under context. What I like about Elfrid, hold on, hear me out, because you can't. This is something that's like undeniable, right? Elfrid Payton, like the things that attracted me to Elfrid Payton, to like liking Elfrid Payton, like I still don't want him. Like so, I'm on your page, Keith. Like I'm on your page. We reading the same book, but right. I play both sides. I can see the good in him. And the good in him for me is the same good that we all saw, the same little good that we saw in Ron Baker, that he got passion. When he get on the court, he's trying to play his part. Hold on, peep game, right? what initially attracted me to him was when he pushed old boy last year from shooting at three. What was it, Jay Crowder?
From Memphis, Jay Crowder.
When he pushed Jay Crowder, right? I was like, oh
Jay Crowder
yeah, I got the clapping. I'm standing up. I'm like,
He's
yeah,
soft
we
anyway.
losing, but he got that passion. Everybody in New York City that was watching that game was like, that's our guy. And from that alone, right? But the bad play is what's got me on the same, like reading your same chapter. But even though I'm reading your same chapter, I'm still thinking about what was going on with the Jay Crowder push. And what even attracted to me more, we'll go to a chapter from a couple weeks ago when he had that 22-point game, and they was like, you know, well, what do you think about, you know, what the fans got to say? And he was like, I'm not paying attention.
I don't care what the fans got to say.
When he said that, I said, yo, that's my guy. I like you from that. You still playing bad, and I want you to go. But if Tibbs sees something in you to still allow you to start, you see what I'm saying? If he sees something in you to still allow you to start, then I'm willing to remember the previous chapters. So I'm gonna let it ride. You could try to stare out the window and look for the bad stuff and look for the pigs to fly. You can look there and wait.
Oh no,
regardless
bro.
of how long you wait, Tibbs has still got that man starting for a reason because he got that Ron Baker passion.
I think Evergreen think that I don't like Alfred. I think that's the direction he's coming from.
So he is
I think Evergreen doesn't realize that I'm the only cat that was riding for Alfred when Cats was kicking my back in.
Okay,
and I was like, when Cats was kicking my back in. In fact, when I was the only cat riding for both Randall and Elf. In fact.
Okay. All right. All right.
Like, game after game, I'm gonna do you one better. Like, yo, like, see, fans just want to be bitter. Like, the rest of the NBA believes stuff before the Knicks fans will believe it. You know what I'm saying? And I could dig it because we've been through the mud for so long. Like our coach strings have been pulled so long. Like, cats don't want to believe stuff. But like, from last season to this season, Elf was a difference maker.
Right.
I know cats hate to say it. Because, like the first thing they'll say, like, we only had 21 wins. I said, yeah, he helped us to 21 wins. Yeah, because we probably only have 15 or 14 if he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe even less. Clyde sitting on the side talking about, like, can't wait for Elf to come back. But fans is like, Elf is trash. Like, Cats is like, we watched Elf come back and turn the whole team around last season. But Elf is still the one that's trash. You know what I'm saying? We come into this season like, why is Tibbs? We hold Tibbs on our shoulders like, yeah, we finally got a top-notch coach. We all trust Tibbs. Tibbs has Elf as the starting point guard. All of a sudden, Cats is questioning Tibbs. Like, Tibbs must not know what he's doing. Like, something is wrong here. Why does he have Elf starting? Maybe Tibbs don't know Tibbs know what the fuck he's doing. Pardon my French. Tibbs know what he's doing. Rose knew what he was doing. Like, and it's all showing now. The Randall guard, like when I was like, all his mistakes last season, the stuff that people hated him for was really all on the back of bad coaching. Cats was like, nah, Randall needs to go. We need to trade him for cap space. You know how hot people would be right now if we traded Randall for cap space? You know how hot? Hot fans would be? And they would have nobody to blame. And they would have nobody to blame but themselves. You know how hot?
Hey, Freaky, let me ask you this. What if we traded Julius Randle to the Wizards in the offseason for a first-round pick, right? And he would be doing this right here, what he's doing right now for the Wizards.
Dude, there'll be a lot of people that wouldn't be saying shit. Pardon my French. That wouldn't be saying nothing. But they'll be at home crying. Damn it, why didn't we hold on to Randall?
Right. Hey, so
like cats didn't see the power. What fans don't see, like sometimes they see the game, but they don't see the actual talent, bro. Like if I say that something is on the back of bad coaching, I'm looking then now if I know it's bad coaching in the air, I'm looking at the actual talent. Like I'm looking at like okay, like that spin move. Tibbs wouldn't let Tibbs wouldn't continue to let Randall play spinning into traffic,
spinning and winning.
Like spinning and winning. Like Tibbs, a good coach wouldn't continue to let him play like that. I don't look at that as like a talent thing. That's a poor direction thing. So like I can still look through that to the talent. Like, yo, this dude is big as hell and he moves fast as hell. And cats can't keep up with him. Cats his size can't keep up with him.
Yeah.
And he's strong. Like, what are those things? Those things are talents that you can't replace. Like, okay, so what would this talent look like with better coaching? Cats refuse to look at that. They refuse to take that angle. Like, nah, Randall trash. He not good. Like Randall trash.
Right. And so the reason why I had to bring up Elfrid Payton. So for one, I was with Randall the whole way because I don't think you can get 20 and 10 from anywhere. Right. So I was on the Randall train. Now, when you say you were the only one that was riding for Randall and Elf together, you're right. And a lot of people are going to jump on your bandwagon, but we're not going to let them jump on, man.
That's cool because I just take the wins. I'll take the W's. I don't need the I told you so. I need the team wins.
Nah, man. We gotta let you get your flowers when you're right, though. When you're right, we gotta give you your flowers.
I'll tell you this, and I'll be completely honest. You know what I mean? Like, I was one that was like, especially last season, I was one like, yo, they can't be on the floor at the same time, right? Like
100%. I heard that from people.
And I was saying that under the Fizdale tenure. I was saying that under the Mike Miller tenure, but under the Mike Miller tenure, I was also paying attention to what we were doing inside the paint. That's what I was doing. And I was like, well, it's getting us some wins. We're on a better winning percentage under Mike Miller with what he's doing. Even though we all saw the writings on the wall that, you know, Fizdale was a horrible coach. I said, well, something has been tightened up under Mike Miller. I don't know what it is, but something has been tightened up under Mike Miller, and he kept the same lineup. The only thing that eventually would come to change was Marcus Morris was off of the team. So something's working here, but I'm not ready to call it and say that, you know, we can keep Elfrid Payton and Julius Randle on the floor. And this is just off of the concepts that the league has moved to a 3-point shooting game, right? Like I argue against that, you know, but that's another conversation for another day. But I said, you know what? Let me give it a chance, right? So I kept my mouth shut when the bubble hit and everyone was still arguing about all the trades that need to happen I kept my mouth shut. And I still kept my mouth shut once we ended up getting all of our acquisitions over the season, you know, once the season started and I saw what the front office were doing and I saw the competence of what they put together, just what they did on paper alone and how they maintained the cap, I said, oh yeah, I'm really going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say anything about Elfrid Payton, and I'm not going to start talking about trades, even though I'm looking at this current chapter and I'm saying the guy can't shoot. I'm not going to push any judgment. I'm not going to push any judgment and say we need to trade him for this player. I'm just going to say I don't necessarily want him on the team, but whatever, you know, it's almost like acquiescing to your wife. You know what I mean? Like, you know that what she's saying is bull crap, right? You know that what she's saying is bull crap, but she's finding a way to make it work.
Right.
So you keep your mouth.
You gotta let her have it. You gotta let her
have it. All right, babe, you got it. You got it. Whatever makes you feel better. But whatever's making her feel better seems to be working for the household. And right now, my house seems to be in order with this Knicks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's not as clean as I want it to be. You know what I mean? It's still
life,
shoes.
yo. That's life.
You know what I mean? It's still shoes on the floor. You know what I mean? It's a couple dishes in the sink. Whatever the case may be, that house ain't the way I want it to be, but it's functioning way better than it was before.
Right.
My electricity bill seems to be a little bit cheaper this month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, my son didn't magically push buttons on and buy HBO movies that he didn't need to buy. You know, I'm saving a lot of cash right now, and you know, it's working a little bit. So I'm not mad at the Elfrid Payton thing right now. I reserve all judgment. You know, especially since we found a way. Like, I look at Elfrid Payton like this. We found a way to still get HBO channels without paying premium money.
Right.
What we did was we said, yo, I'm not going to pay for HBO. I'm going to drop HBO and I'm going to get a Fire Stick and I'm going to get the channels free. Because we took the HBO pay of $8 million and we said, no, we're not going to do that. But we're going to find this alternative and say, hey, let's sign you back for $5 million. We willing to do that? And he's like, all right, I'll come here and I'll still play my heart out.
Right.
And that's what kills me. Like, people will kick a player's back end for taking less money, right? Like, oh, like he took $5 million to come back here for a year. Nobody wanted him. Like, so far be it from us to think that like he actually might want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was willing to fit in with whatever the plan was.
Right.
Yet, like, no, he's a scrub. That's why he took the bread. Like, then why would they want to scrub? Why would they want to scrub? And why would they put a scrub as the starting? Well, he's the starting scrub. Like, cats don't look past. Like, they can't look past their own biases and stuff. Even when Randall started, we're like 5-10 games into the season, and it's evident that Randall is cooking. Like cooking with a whole new type of gas. Yep. And the first thing I hear from fans is like, oh, we should trade him while his value's high. Are you serious? Like, you're watching a man become a star on your team that no stars want to come to willingly, and you want to get rid of the first star that we tasted in years? Are you bugging?
Right.
I just don't understand us sometimes, yo, and how us as fans, like, how we really look at the game. And I know we all different people and this, that, and the other, but like, it's certain things to me that just jump out as playing. Like, this dude is on 2K level right now. Even and Freezy, and what did I tell you? I think we was talking about this last week. We was talking about this early last week. Like, he came into the season. After his first 3 games, he was shooting 70% from the 3.
Right.
Now first 5 games. Now we were talking last week, like, oh yeah, of course that was going to come down, and so it came down to about 40%, and I was like, I'm feeling like that's the number. I feel like he's been run like that's
you said about 45. I think we said
about 45.
I didn't say
45.
No, hear me out. I think we first said 45, and then we were like, no, that may be too high. Right?
You said 40. I said 40, and then you said that would be too high. I was like, okay, I'll go down to 38. He might go down to 38, but I feel like 40 is where
you won't get okay. So we was thinking like 45. I was like, no, that might be too high. I'm thinking like 35, and you was like, no, and then we went up, and I think it was like either 38, 39, or 40. But
where he's at.
But basically you were like, no, this dude can shoot. And I was like, well, 35 would be a career high. And he was like, no, about 40 sounds about right. You know what I'm saying? We settled for because what happened was the dude looked like he can shoot and it was wet. I mean, he wasn't banking them in and he wasn't getting lucky bounces. It was wet. You know what I'm saying?
Hitting the bottom of the net.
Right. Because we knew 70% wasn't sustainable at all. Nobody shoots that. Right, but
he's even shooting that. Right. I'm definitely not thinking that.
Right. So here's my thing. I'm gonna ask you this, and I know for some they're gonna swear up and down I'm trolling, and maybe I am, and maybe I'm not. But do you guys think Elfrid Payton is the future of the point guard position with the Knicks?
No.
I think he is. I think he is. And so when we cut him and brought him back, I was like, you know what? No, man, listen,
ahead,
you
keep going.
can't.
I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
You can't be young at every position. You need veterans. You need a veteran to hold down certain positions, right? Like legit, people want us to go get a rookie point guard, and so that we can have that rookie and Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, and another young guy, and then at small forward they want us to get young, and then so we be young at like 4 positions with Randall. You can't sustain success with youth across the board. You have to have veterans. You know what I'm saying? Even if
all right,
so even if you have you have 8 young guys.
There's $2 million questions, right? And this will let us know how deep we are on this Elfrid Payton thing, right? How much are you willing to pay Elfrid Payton next season if you want him to play, right? And how much are you willing to pay Julius Randle behind him, right? Because you're obviously going to give Julius Randle a contract extension next season, right?
Right.
At this point, right?
He might get it earlier.
Like he's got this season, he's got next season on the books will be his contract year, right? So you gotta sign him, but that means you got to pay Elfrid Payton tomorrow, right? If you want him to be the future of this team, if that's your conversation that you're bringing up,
it's a fact.
How much are you willing to pay him with what he's producing right now? How much are you willing to pay him? Because I'm cool with like I said, I'm cool with I'm cool with whatever they're deciding to do with Elfrid Payton staying on this team. I'm cool with it because I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel, right?
Right.
So the next question is, how much are you willing to pay Elfrid Payton at this point? Because he already took a dump. He took $3 million off the books for him, right?
Right.
We signed him, we waived him, and we signed him back. So now that this year is his contract year, he's technically playing on a contract year. How much are you willing to pay him to keep him?
How much is he willing to take to stay?
That's a lot of questions.
Right. So
I think that's a lot of questions.
Right. So Evergreen, now you gotta. So you asked me 3 questions. You gotta let me answer. Allow me to answer your questions first. Allow me to answer. So first of all, you gotta give Julius Randle his max extension right away, because what you don't want to do is wait and then let him get his scoring average up to about 26, 27. Now you like, instead of paying him 27 mil, I got to pay him 34 mil, right? You can't allow him to make all NBA third team, because now you're in.
Exactly. I'm extending him at the end of this year. I'm not even going into next year.
Right. Because he's got a $19 million option for next season, right? And if you mess around, and I'm telling you, I'm knocking on his door this morning, like, hey man, you remember when you wanted to talk about your extension? Let's do that right now. Let's hammer something out.
Come holler at me. Come holler at me.
Right. And because there is a difference. There is a difference between Julius Randle making 27 mil per and 35 mil, 38 mil, 40 mil, 41 mil with the option for 44 mil in the 5th year.
And you don't want to be battling other teams at the end of a star's contract.
Right. And you don't want Julius Randle to get disgruntled and be like, y'all don't appreciate me, man. I've been here through that whack year. I did everything y'all said. Y'all killed me in the media, and I took it like a trooper. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wish me happy birthday on Twitter, and I got killed, man. People booed me in front of my son. You know what I'm saying? When I was averaging 20 and 10 for y'all. And you want me to sign a max extension to go through this, after all I've been through? I was here through all y'all crazy. Nah, man. Give Randle his money. Give him the bag. What are you waiting for? Julius Randle has proven. But here's the thing.
I think we're all under agreement that Randle gets the bag. Randle gets the bag. But his question was still about Elf. So.
Right. No, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
I dated Juju because when we're looking at starting point guards or the point guard of the future, the point guard of the future comes in two forms: either a rookie on a really, really light contract, right? Like not like a starting, not like a top 10 pick, a top 10 pick that's you're paying money to, right? A small little chunk of change, or the point guard that you're giving the bag to stay, right? So how much with us giving the money to Julius Randle because he's getting the bag, whether you decide that 27 mil is comparable, whether you decide that for it reasonable, whether you decide that that's reasonable, whether you decide that it's 44 mil or whatever money you willing to give Julius Randle at this point, I'm with it. But how much? And now don't change the question, because the question isn't how much is Elfrid Payton willing to take, because clearly he's willing to take something. If he took $8 million, was willing to be waived and not willing to be waived. We waived him anyway, but re-signed for cheaper for $5 million, right? Clearly he's willing to take less.
But you have to let us answer the question.
You as a GM, how much are you willing to pay him now that he's producing the way he's producing alongside Julius Randle? How much?
So you got to let us answer the question. So give me and Free Keith and myself. We need some time to answer your question specifically. Right, Free Keith, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go. I don't look at Elf as the future of the point guard position.
Bingo.
Not starting. But I've never said that. See, that's I've never said that I felt like Elf was the future. No. Was the future of the starting spot. Like, I want him on the team. I think that he'd be a valuable part of our front court combination of, our back court combination of cats. Like, he'll definitely, the group of people that we have as point guards and shooting guards. I want him a part of that. But do I need him to be leading it off? No. I just felt like he was people were underselling him strictly because he doesn't shoot the three ball well. You know what I'm saying? Strictly because he doesn't shoot the three ball well. And that to me was always my contention. He does other point guard things. Well. And his size, his speed, he's bigger than most other guards. Getting in the paint is
faster.
Cats is constantly amazed when they don't give him his propers when he does his positive elf things during the game. But those things are actually and understand he's not even Tibbs doesn't have the team running through the point guards anyway. Tibbs has the team running through the power forward. So the offense is running through Randle. He's distributing the ball. All I need for my point guard to do in that situation is, be able to shoot the ball and do what Elf is doing. That's perfectly fine. I think we don't have I don't think we have a point guard heavy or our setup isn't point guard dependent as much as what would be normal. The point guard is running and setting up the plays. No, it's coming through Randle. So do I think in that scenario that Elf, the things that make Elf a good point guard is definitely is more powerfully at play? No. So now I need a point guard. If I'm going to go forward, I need a point guard who can shoot reliably from the three. I need, if that becomes Elf, if Elf turns into that, great. But we're not looking for a PG point guard in the vein of Rondo anymore, which is one of my favorite point guards. We're looking for more of a scoring point guard who can score from distance, because Randle is the point guard.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let me jump in here and answer. I don't know if Evergreen dipped or if he's coming back or what, but so not only do I think Elfrid Payton is the point guard of the future, I think he's going to be here for. I mean, not only do I think Elfrid's the starter, but I think he's the point guard of the immediate future, right? Like, okay. So, and I know some of y'all are going to swear. Y'all think I come on here to troll? Do y'all legit think I just come on here to troll everybody?
Yeah.
Free keep, nah, man. I don't come on here to troll everybody, man. I honestly just think for myself. I don't need nobody to formulate an opinion for me and force me to think a certain way. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird to me. I'm reading the comments, and it's weird to me how people just go out their way to hate on Payton, though. Like it's like this dude IQ, like, oh, Payton. So Payton does nothing well, right? Nothing. So he does nothing well, and Tibbs has him playing for no reason. Tibbs hasn't started. Come on, man. Like IQ, like we winning games. Like they look beyond your own bias, bro. Like look at the actual talent of players and what did they do good. I challenge you to tell me one thing that IQ that Elf does well. He obviously does something well because he wouldn't be in the spot. Say something, IQ, because you just sound like a hater. You're looking for reasons to hate. But go ahead.
Well. I mean, first of all, get them likes up, man. Put those,
smash that like button.
Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We asking y'all not because of just because you like the video, but the more likes we get, the more opportunity we get to show up for others. Because YouTube has a real weird algorithm, man, and nobody on YouTube can figure it out. The only thing we do know for sure is if you smash that like button, we'll show up. I mean, that's about it. So smash that like button to support the channel so that we can show up in people's feeds and stuff so that we can grow the channel. Because there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing worse than Knicks YouTubers putting out diehard Knicks stuff and diehard Knicks fans looking for diehard Knicks stuff and getting random national Knicks stuff like a dude from Venezuela doing an all NBA thing and it says Knicks in it and it shows up and it's not even legit hardcore Knicks stuff, right? So by smashing the button, you help the DJ bring the two dancers together. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what we are. Like we like, you know what I'm saying? We might be like on one side looking for a certain party and then there's the other side looking for a certain party. And the DJ plays a song that both sides like, and it brings them together. That's what smashing the like button is like. But let me get back to Elfrid Payton, though. So Elfrid Payton. So first of all, let me say this, right? So I added a Twitter poll. I added a poll to Twitter, right? And I asked the question. Right? Is Elfrid Payton the future of the point guard position for the New York Knicks, right? And it's already popping. I honestly legit put the poll question out when Free Keith was finishing up, and when I started, and already it's got votes, man. Y'all are popping on Twitter. Y'all are popping, man, and y'all's opinions, man. Y'all, So anyway, go out there on Twitter, follow your boy, can participate in the Knicks Wanna Drive Twitter poll, right? My deal with Payton is this. Tom Thibodeau values Elfrid Payton, right? Scott Perry values Elfrid Payton. I think Scott Perry may have drafted Elfrid Payton in Orlando.
He did.
Right? So Scott
he's been a big supporter of his.
Right. And so this misnomer that Elfrid Payton somehow wandered into New York City and fell over backwards into the starting New York Knicks starting point guard position is false. Elfrid Payton is going to be here. Okay? And I know y'all hate Payton, right? Nobody, and I mean nobody, dislikes Elfrid Payton's game more than yours truly, right? Nobody. Free Keith legit comes on and is like, has to do an intervention with me about Elfrid Payton because I get so frustrated with Elfrid Payton, right? I'm like, yo, I don't hate anybody, but if I can turn hell inside out over Elfrid Payton's point guard play, I would do that. I would legit turn hell inside out by myself because I hate Elfrid Payton's game. But the thing you have to realize is Elfrid Payton is valued by this Knicks organization, and he is going to be here. Even if we draft Cade Cunningham #1, guess what's going to happen? Elfrid Payton is going to be here to mentor Cade Cunningham. Whether you like it or not, Elfrid Payton is going to be here. You know what I'm saying? You don't cut Elfrid Payton and free up his money off the books and bring him back if you don't like him. It was too many point guards available this offseason. Too many point guards. Man, we could have had Ricky. We could have traded Frank for Ricky Rubio straight up. And we didn't. We could have gave up a late first round pick for Dennis Schroeder, and we didn't. John Wall got traded. Russell Westbrook got traded. Chris Paul got traded. I mean, come on.
I wanted Chris Paul, but yeah.
Yeah. So no matter we can say all the things that we want about Elfrid Payton suck and he ain't gonna be here, but I'm telling you, it don't matter how much you hate Elfrid Payton. The Knicks front office values Elfrid Payton. Tom Thibodeau values Elfrid Payton. So no matter how much you hate on him and dislike him,
values Elfrid Payton. I'm watching Clyde. I'm hearing Clyde, even from last season, I'm hearing Clyde talk glowingly about Elfrid Payton. And it's not about the box score because, like, yo, fans are just box score hoes. Like, you won't watch a game and you'll look at the box score and just project the whole game in your mind. Like, dude, there's things that fall outside of the box score that people do that you gotta realize by watching the game. And Bagger, you don't know what you're talking about. Anybody that Perry didn't give him a no trade clause. When you re-sign a cat that you just let go, it's an automatic, bro. That's in the player agreement. So y'all little conspiracy theories about Perry giving giving Elf a no trade clause is false, and y'all need to stop that. You're just showing that you don't know basketball. So no, because there's a couple points I had to go through on here. Like cats respect Thibodeau, and they'll glow. They'll talk about how great a coach he is, and then it comes down to an individual player, and then he don't know what he's talking about. So like, why is this great coach riding EP? Riding with EP? Why? He got so much more talent on the team. IQ, Rose, blah blah blah. Why?
No.
Y'all know better than Tibbs? Y'all, who's out here coaching from their mom's couch that know better than Tibbs? Let me hear you.
Hey.
Word,
So
many of y'all, huh?
So shout out to Bagger Jones.
Bagger, it is a fact, Joe. It is a fact, Bagger. He wasn't given a no trade clause. It comes with the contract because they let him go and they re-signed him for next season. Like that. That's part what happens.
Yeah, it's part
of what
happens. Yeah, it's part of the collective bargaining agreement.
Collective bargaining agreement, Bagger. Yeah. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the thing is this, man. I'm not a fan of Elfrid Payton, and I say that every day.
RJ.
So every day, and the one thing the conversation I despise is Elfrid Payton can't shoot. That conversation is like that conversation. It drives me batty. If you want to troll Uncle Freezy, start a conversation about Elfrid Payton can't shoot. Right? I already know this. Right?
He can't shoot.
Right? Yeah. Don't state the obvious. We already know this, man. We already know this. But the thing is, oh yeah. So let me shout out Anthony 212. What's good? MIG Mig. What's good? White Falcon, what's good? Keyshawn, what's good? I see you. I see you. Hey, Jamie Peralta, what's happening, man? What's good? Winston Ellis, what's good? Wacko Knicks fanatic, what's good? Hey, so the thing is, we have these conversations as Knicks fans that we feel like are 100% accurate. And I'm gonna tell you this: no conversation is gonna have 100% accuracies on all sides, especially if people have difference of opinions, right? So we're gonna be right on some stuff, and we're gonna be wrong on some stuff, and sometimes we're gonna take facts to support our arguments. It's what we do. You know, I mean, we've watched enough daytime court shows and nighttime court dramas to know how to argue for a point, right? It's like we watch so much TV that we feel like we can do that, what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I can say if the gloves don't fit, you must have quit. You know what I'm saying? That's a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. And with Elfrid Payton, we see Elfrid Payton as a guy that can't shoot in a NBA environment where most star point guards are shooters. So we figure that if we don't have one like them, there must be something wrong with us. But there's nothing wrong with us, right? There's nothing wrong with the Knicks. We're okay.
People are too short-sighted. I mean, not just short-sighted. They're too one-dimensional. Like, oh, there's only one way to do it. Like, oh, we should be doing it like Atlanta's doing it. We should be doing it like there's only one way. Nah, bro. Like, it's multiple ways to skin this cat, and they're picking their way. Like, and it's working.
Free Keith, who do the reigning NBA champs right now have a point guard that can shoot? From last year, did their point guard was a shooter? Was their point guard a shooter? The Lakers? The Lakers won the championship in the bubble, right? The starting point guard that they had, was he a notorious? Was he known for shooting? No, Rondo, right? Rondo wasn't a shooter, right? Rondo wasn't a shooter.
Was he credited for helping them win? Definitely.
Yes, he saved their bacon multiple times last year. Multiple times last year. A couple of those games against the Nuggets, bro, Denver wasn't playing. Denver wanted them, right? Rondo saved their ass a couple times, man. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I'm not here to fluff up Elfrid Payton, right? I'm not here to fluff up Elfrid Payton. I dislike Elfrid Payton's game. I would turn hell inside out to get rid of Elfrid Payton, right? But you have to respect.
I just want cats to be unbiased and to look at like to tell the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look beyond their biases. Like, yo, like everybody. I realized too in Knicks fandom verse, like, yo, like when somebody doesn't like a guy, all of a sudden he's trash.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't like Payton. He's trash. Like, Payton's trash. He's the number one defender of other point guards in the league. Number one.
Right.
Number one. But he's trash.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, and it's twofold. What you just said, for one, is not new, and two, it doesn't even have to be justified. Right? It doesn't even have to be justified. Like last year, it was pick your guy. It's either you're a Mook guy or a Randall guy, right? And so people was like, well, since I like Mook, I have to hate Randall. You're like, you don't have to hate Randall, dog.
Exactly.
You don't have to hate him. So if you throw down the ultimatum where it has to be one or the other, just because it's one, you don't have to hate the other. You don't. I could see you not supporting them, like not putting out fluffy tweets like I do about RJ Barrett, right? But say for instance, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Frank Ntilikina, right? And I know y'all are going to be like, oh no, here comes the Frank Ntilikina Power Hour. No, we ain't get ready to get into the Frank Ntilikina Power Hour. What I'm about to say is, Knicks fan, there are a certain sect of Knicks fans that love Frank Ntilikina so much they can't get over the fact that another guy is playing point guard. They look at Elfrid Payton and they're like, man, Frank can do that. Well, what is Elfrid Payton giving you? Y'all say Frank can't shoot. Elfrid Payton can't shoot. Y'all say Payton's number one thing is defense. Defense is Frank's number one thing, right? And so they hate Elfrid Payton, right? And so what they do is once they hate him for a moment, they hate him forever, right? It's like so I'll let you into a little bit of Uncle Freezy's life, right? Just real quick.
The Knicks is winning despite Payton's garbage play. This is what fans are saying. Like this is what fans are saying.
I'm about to justify with it, and I'm about to justify that with this, right? So I met Miss Mocha a long time ago, right? And when I saw she was the apple of my eye, but I was going with somebody else, right? Fine chick, had money, you know what I'm saying? Come pick me up. I was broke. I was working at the VA, you know what I'm saying? Think about the cubicle scenario in the Matrix, where it's like a dude just sitting in the cubicle, whatever, all day long, 10 hours a day, whatever. Living for the weekend is what I was calling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going with this girl, man. You know, she's bad, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I meet Mocha. I'm like, yo, hey Mocha, what are you doing for the rest of your life? And she's like, boy, you so crazy. And I'm like, I'm with this chick right now, but I'm gonna go break up with her, and then I'm gonna holler at you. And so she's like, you ain't gonna break up with her. So I legit go break up with the girl, right? I was like, yo, this ain't working, B. I found somebody else. I'm out of here. And she was like, you broke. When I found you, you wasn't nothing. You got working that whack job and such. You know what I'm saying? But fast forward the story, me and Miss Mocha, we still together. We rocking, man. I swear. It was like it's meant to be, right? But this girl, Free Keith, this lady, this is 30 years later, B. 30 years later, when we cross paths, she still suck her teeth at me, dog. She still disliked me after 30 years. I'm like, B, I was like 24. What are you talking about? I was young. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't meant to be the girl I left you for. We still together. And when you see me, and when you see Uncle Freezy, you still sucking your teeth and waving your finger at Uncle Freezy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, move on. Move on with your life. It's the same thing with Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton had 2 or 3 bad shooting games last year, right? And and certain fans, they can't get over themselves, but they hate for LP. You know what I'm saying? Elf had some disappointing games last year. I ain't gonna lie to you. It frustrated me, right? But I'll at least give him credit when he does good, even though I don't like him. But there are Knicks fans in this chat and abroad that cannot get over the fact that they hate Elfrid Payton. They scorn. Is scorned a word? I just need to, hey, chat, is scorned a real word, or is that just something we made up? Because that chick that shoots me the bird when she see me and Mocha out somewhere, like, dog, she see me and Miss Mocha and Ruby Tuesday, and she still shoot me the bird. Right? Grow up, stop being a child.
Telling her kids that should have been your daddy.
Right. Come on. That was 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Come on. And the Elfrid Payton haters. Yo, that was last season under 2 different coaches, man. Get over it. Get over it, y'all. Elfrid Payton is here to stay. What are we even doing? And y'all, I just told y'all 4 times I would turn hell inside out to improve Elfrid Payton game, right? Right? That's me, right?
I don't know about here to stay. See, like that's too. I feel like I don't do those projections. Like to me, I look at Randall. Randall's here to stay. Like Randall's here to stay. That's obvious. Like my appreciation for people is in the right now. I see what Elf is helping us. How Elf is helping us right now. If you're going to be able to, can we upgrade from his spot? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope. This, that, and the other. I don't know if he's here to stay. But for the right now of it all, I'm riding with Elf. We winning and it's cool. Like, how many games did it take us to get to 15 wins last season? Like 42? Like, right. How many games did it take us to get to 15 wins, yo? Right.
Man. Hey, so the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll is bananas, right? The hate for Elfrid Payton is real, right? That's so
and I don't even know why. I don't even know why cats hate him so much. Like, yo, like IQ finished the game.
Right.
IQ finished the last couple games, I believe. Like, yo, like Elf ain't even finishing games. Like Tibbs, we don't listen to Tibbs. Tibbs says like, oh, he doesn't care who starts. Like that's less important to him than who finishes. So why don't y'all listen to Tibbs? The most important person is finishing. Like, relax and take the wins.
Right, and so let me do the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll, right? Just real quick. So the question is Elfrid Payton the future of the point guard position for the Knicks? So the options are yes, as the starter, mentoring a young point guard, not no, but hell no. No, he is a journeyman. Right now, the leader is
Randall's a journeyman.
No, he is a journeyman.
Randall's a journeyman.
Right.
Right.
Right. So my thing is this that I'm trying to tell Knicks fans, and I'm telling this for your mental and emotional health, Knicks fans. Get over it. Let it go. Elfrid Payton is not only here, but he's here to stay. Right? I'm telling y'all, Elfrid Payton is here to stay. Coaches like when a coach and a certain player get synergy together, the coach will use that player as much as he can. And I'm not saying this season, I'm saying forever. Right? Look at Thibodeau and D Rose, right? Thibodeau almost can't live without D Rose almost. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had him in Chicago, right? He got fired. He took the job in Minnesota. He had him in Minnesota. He got fired. He moved on to New York, and guess what? Magically happened. All of a sudden, D Rose is in New York also, right? When coaches get that connection with the player, they're connected forever. B. I'm telling you. Okay.
I think those are the things. Those are the things that show up that don't show up on the stat sheet that I feel like the average fan don't appreciate.
Right.
You change your personnel every year. That's almost like restarting the clock every year. That growing that synergy and growing that chemistry is very important. Yeah. Is very important. So like I don't think that the average fans really appreciate that enough at this shit whole time.
Right. No doubt. So the thing is, let me check the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll one more time. I need to refresh this because I can't believe what I'm seeing.
I believe it a lot.
So 50% of the votes coming in say no, he is a journeyman.
See, and when I hear stuff like that, it just lets me know like fans are really just like they're voting with their emotions, and they're not really biased. They're really not unbiased observers of talent.
Right.
Like, because if you're gonna even say something like that, what does that mean? Because like Randall is also a journeyman. Is he not?
Right.
They think he's not here for a future.
Right. And right.
Rose is a journeyman. They think that he's not gonna be here. Come on. Man. Fans use stupidity to prove their biased opinion, and it's just ignorant. Like, and you could tell it from the first line. Like, oh, okay, like, yeah, oh, he's a journeyman. So if you're using journeyman as bad for him, who else is journeyman bad for? Because he's been on as many teams as Randall's been on.
So Bagger Jones says that I'm trolling this morning, bro. I'm telling you. We all think differently about stuff, right? Like for instance, I said yesterday, and I meant it with all my heart. Damian Lillard is not a superstar, right? Damian Lillard is not a superstar. He's a stat compiler. And stat compilers never win anything. Damian Lillard is a stat compiler. Like Alex English, like Dominique Wilkins. He's a stat compiler, right? A great stat compiler. But it never leads to winning, right? Right? And then you have dudes like Steph Curry who wins all types of individual awards, right? But at the same time, they win team awards, right? Like people used to say Michael Jackson, Lord have mercy. People used to say Michael Jordan was a stat compiler, right? All he does is score. He can't do nothing else. But eventually, Jordan turned into the GOAT and he won championships, right? Dame Lillard is not on that career arc, right? He's not. They asked me if you switch Dame Lillard and Steph Curry, would Golden State win championships? And I told them, no, they wouldn't, because they wouldn't be able to get past Portland because Portland had Steph Curry, right? People think I legit hate Dame Lillard. Sam Russell, who was on the show yesterday, made an excellent point, and I want to make sure I put it in context. He said some players are superstars on the court and some are superstars off the court, right? And I took his point to make this point. If I see that stupid Hulu has live sports commercial one more time with Dame Lillard, I swear I'm going to jump out of a plate glass window. Dame Lillard, I understand that Hulu has live sports, right? But what does Dame Lillard have with the Portland Trailblazers? Do they have championships? No.
Come on, man. You hating on the man.
I'm not. Why would I hate on? He don't even play for our team.
I'll take Dame like Lillard right now. I'll trade him for EP straight up if Dame is trash. Dame is a stat compiler. Like, give me Dame. Give me Dame.
Right. I agree. I agree. We need bucket getters. We need bucket getters.
That's it. Yo, I have I'm gonna defend anybody on the team right now. Why? Because this team, as comprised, is bringing me wins, and that's it.
Well, Freaky, let me ask. Since you said since you don't agree with my take, let me ask you this: who would you rather have? Whose career would you rather have? John Stockton or Allen Iverson?
Ooh. Allen Iverson. Neither one of them won chips.
Right. That's the reason why I asked. That's the reason why I asked. Right. Right. So the thing is with me, I would prefer John Stockton. Right. Because for one, John Stockton, I think, is the all-time NBA assist leader. He got others involved, right? John Stockton had a long run of success in one of the smallest markets in the NBA. That means he could have did that anywhere, right? He didn't need to sign big-time free agents to go to Utah to play with him, right? And two, the style that he revolutionized is being run today by every NBA team. The ISO, Allen Iverson ISO, not so much, not as much as it used to, right? Stockton revolutionized the pick and roll offense. And so much so that every NBA team is running it right now. And if you can't run the pick and roll, Dennis Smith Jr., even with uber athleticism, teams don't want you, right? And I'm willing to say this. DSJ is in a class athletically with those guys, the Iversons and all that. I'm not saying he's a better athlete or the same. What I'm saying is when you think about super athletes, I would put Dennis Smith Jr. in that class with super athletes.
For real? I feel like he was. I don't see any evidence of him still being in that class.
You mean explosive and being able to run fast and jump high and all that?
After he came back from that surgery from last season, we didn't see that DSJ no more. We still haven't seen that DSJ.
Right. Well, and maybe not. But the point I'm getting at is John Stockton revolutionized the style of basketball that everybody is using right now, right? And he didn't invent the pick and roll. but he picked it up.
He just mastered it.
Yeah.
But you got to understand who he was playing with too. Like, and again, like
Jeff Hornacek, Tyrone Corbin, Mark Eaton.
And Malone.
Yeah. Malone might be the greatest.
What are you saying? Like, yo, like Malone, like I've seen Malone get rebounds and clear dudes out with his elbows out, like things that you can't do today.
Right.
Like things that you cannot. I mean, he was one of the dirtiest players ever, yo. Karl Malone.
Hey,
that pick and roll was like that pick and I feel like the reason why the Stockton Malone pick and roll was so successful because like partly because Malone was such a dirty player, bro. Like
so the fact that not Hornacek, but Stockton had Hornacek also. But what I'm saying is what I'm saying is the fact that John Stockton can pass with either hand, right? He can take the physical pounding in the paint when teams tried to rough him up. He had excellent court vision and anticipation, and he ran the pick and roll to whoever was open, right? Whoever was open, he would hit.
Stockton would amaze me because he looked like he visually came off as the least hooping looking person ever on the planet. Like that dude looked like he was a dentist or something. Like
right.
That dude looked like you play ball? Like what? Right. Like I would have never guessed that ever by looking at Stockton.
Right. I'm saying John Stockton legit looks like the dude that does my taxes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every time I see him, I'm like, when you gonna suit up, bro? You think about coming out of retirement? But the other thing about Stockton is I didn't like watching Stockton because those shorts were so short that I felt like if he those shorts made me blush, dog. Not in a good way, it cringe. I was like, John Stockton, you better not die for a loose ball with those shorts on. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to know. We don't want the peep show. No, John Stockton. No.
That was the time, though. That was the times. All them cats in them short shorts.
Right. And so the reason why I bring up the Stockton Iverson thing is because I think people's preferences, like we have preconceived beliefs, right? Before we even know it, we have a belief system in place because we were taught certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's basically how, it's like how people feel about race and sexuality and age and money. Like before you realize it, you think a certain way because of the stuff that you experienced before you even, came into your own adulthood, right? So the thing is with point guard, with Stockton and say Iverson's not a point guard. Iverson to me is a combo guard, right? So even with Stockton and Iverson, if you come from, a place where cornrows, was the way of life. Like with me, I rock cornrows for a whole decade, right? That's probably why I don't have no hair now. Because like I was
just about to say.
Yeah, because I tell my son, don't waste your hair. You know what I'm saying? I used all mine at one time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I used all mine on little dreads and cornrows. You know what I'm saying? I wasted it all at one time. But if you come from cornrows and tattoos and stuff, which I have, you know what I'm saying? You might favor Iverson. But if you come from, rural America, you know what I'm saying? Stockton might be your guy. You know what I'm saying? But we should not judge either. We should make our own assessment of what it is that we're watching without bias. But we can't do that, right? I mean, we can, but it's not fun to do that. I'll say it. I'll say it like that. So getting back to Elfrid Payton, it's the reason why we say that Elfrid Payton needs to go, because the mainstream tells us that a guy with Elfrid Payton's skill set is not a valuable point guard, but the Knicks value Elfrid Payton.
They definitely value him. They definitely value Elf. Like, and that's another reason. Like, when I evaluate in my evaluation of the players, like, yeah, I have guys who I like personally better than other dudes or this, that, and the other, but I look at the team and the talent a totally different way. And I also input like the things that I like. Okay, if I like and respect Tibbs, I kind of look at his decision making. I also look at his decision making when I figure in how I feel about a guy's talent. Like I know Tibbs is a top notch coach. He doesn't put up for no BS. Like he wouldn't be putting no guys out there that he intentionally thought like even though I know he rides with vets more than youth, like he's not really gonna still put somebody out there that he doesn't feel is up to the task.
Right.
So why is he running Elf out? Like you know what I'm saying, like that figures into my thought process too. It's like maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Maybe I'm not looking. Like you know what I'm saying, like, and now the W's are falling. I'm gonna still continue to hate on Elf. Nah, obviously Tibbs saw something. He has a recipe and it's working.
Right.
I don't like cilantro. I don't like what's that vegetable? Celery. I hate celery.
Me too.
By itself, I hate it. But you know what? You chop that joint up and you you boil it down in a soup. It has to be there. It has to be in my chicken soup boiled down, or my soup won't taste right.
Right.
So it's different. It's like y'all cats gotta look at the mix, man. The mix.
Oh, that was a winner. That right there, what you just said about celery, is a winner, right? Hey, celery soup? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? I love it, right? And chicken salad. I can't speak to that no more because I'm off.
As an additive, I can't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
As an additive to certain other things, it's like, I need it in there for it to taste all right. Like it's Elf ain't the whole game, but he's part of the game and it's working. Like, let it work. Let it work.
Right. No doubt, man.
Broken. If it looked like it was broken, then go ahead and argue.
Right. And so for the record, man. So a couple of years ago, I guess this has been about 4 years now. About 4 years ago, I got on this juicing kick, and this dude.
Can I answer this one question real quick?
Of course.
I think Jamie asked me a question. Yo, would I start paying would I start paying in the playoffs against top teams? Payton's already started and helped us beat top teams.
Right.
What are you talking about? We dropped 30 on Boston. We beat Giannis and the Killers by a dub. What are you talking about? If Peyton leads us to the playoffs, why wouldn't I play him in the playoffs? That's hate, bro. Again, look past the hate. Look past the hate.
Hey, so Free Keith, we are a half a game out of the 4th spot in the East with Elfrid Payton.
Game, not even a full game, bro.
Right.
Half game out the 4th spot.
With Elfrid Payton. Right?
Here's how I want to shake out. I hope we can stay around like 4th, 5th, and have a team like the Pacers be like 6th. We could get the Pacers in the 1st round, knock them out, and then have something like the Nets in the 2nd round. And that's the battle I'm looking for. But I don't want to see the Nets first.
Right now, I don't want to see. I don't want to see the Nets at all. I think our road to the Eastern Conference Finals does not have the Nets on it. I think we can legit beat anybody in the East in a 7-game series if we're healthy, but except the Nets, because the Nets have firepower that you can't scheme for.
Yeah, because they don't play no defense though, bro. Like they're probably one of the worst. They're heading in the direction of being one of the worst defensive teams in NBA history.
Yeah, and I believe if we just play our game, we can shock a few people. Let me say this thing about Peyton. Have I been, I guess, turned off by his by some of the games? Yeah, I have.
Oh boy.
But my thing is, if it ain't broke, you ain't got to fix it.
Oh boy.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
God bless you, Cornerstone. God bless you, Cornerstone.
Especially when nobody on the team is pouting or complaining.
God bless you, Cornerstone. Fans is complaining more than quickly on Rose.
Yeah. Come on. Especially Rose, a former MVP.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. What'd you say? What'd you say, Ken?
A former MVP of the league.
Youngest MVP ever in the league.
I can't understand. What I can't understand is why. Okay, so I'm put back by what you said because I'm not confused by the words. I'm confused by the source.
By the source. Hey man,
I didn't expect that coming from Cornerstone either.
Why? If it's not broke, listen. All right, if we want to get real technical, see, here you go. Here you go.
What?
Do it.
What? Listen. I've stated many a times on this that your best ability is your availability. And to that notion, I'm off the Frank thing. I'm off the Frank thing.
Oh my God! What'd you say?
I'm off the Frank thing.
You gotta be here to play for me to defend you.
Exactly.
You gotta be here to play for me to defend you.
Come on.
Are you?
How can I defend you from bedside? I can't defend you from your hospital bedside.
If you're not playing.
No, I'm not accepting your Frank Ntilikina resignation.
Hey.
I'm not accepting.
Accept whatever you want, man.
God bless you.
I mean, here's the thing. So he's out now because of. I can't believe we're talking about this and everything, but he's out because of COVID contract tracing. How do you get yourself in that position?
Right.
You know,
by chilling with the rest of your model friends.
Exactly.
You chilling with your modeling friends.
Exactly.
That's what
if I'm a player that's trying to get on the court. If I'm a player trying to get on the court, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that there are no obstacles, that I'm busting my butt in practice so that the coach can say, you know what, we got to give, we have to, give them another look and everything. But you're not doing that.
I'm not hanging around random.
Yeah, exactly. So again, I'm saying it again, Uncle Freezy, look at the camera.
I got you.
All right, I'm looking at the camera. I am off the Frank Ntilikina bandwagon.
I
wish him well. I wish him well.
You the first person I heard say that, admit it. Because I know that there are a bunch more like you, but they won't say it.
Well, I'm saying it. Your best ability. That's one thing I'll take from that Ron Cleveland, gave best words. Your best ability is your availability. So it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not available, you can't. You're just like everybody else.
What I'm telling you is
what's up, child?
So what you missed from me, Kev, is I'm not disputing the words that are melting in my ear, right? What I can't believe is the source.
Deal with it.
No.
Deal with it.
No.
Deal with it. I'm into right now. We are one game out of 500. We're one game away from 500. And I want to know. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask the three of y'all a question. You too, Chop. I want to ask the three of y'all a question. Before this season started, how many games do you think we was going to win this year?
I was saying
put you up.
Cats on the thread used to kill me. I stick to my number. Rain or shine.
I was going for
that's
30
my one piece of fandom I allow myself.
All right. So what was it?
37.
Oh, you said 37. Okay, 37. That's cool. I said 35 plus. What about you? Be honest. Put your hand up. Put your right hand up.
I ain't got to do that. Put your
right hand up.
My word is good. So what I told everybody before we saw the new Randall, before the preseason started, I told everybody we were going 42-30.
Get out of here. You actually said that?
No, he didn't. You lying. I was the only one on the 42 joint.
No,
like on
no,
the
I'm on.
I say 42 every season, and cats clown me for it.
Nope.
I say 42 every season. Cats clown me for it. Like, you did not say 42, kid. You was lying.
No. Before we made it to YouTube, when I was doing Sportscaster only, right? Before we made it to YouTube,
yeah,
I said 42 and 30. This was all the way back at the end of October, right? They spent the rest of the night roasting me and calling me a troll.
Is that right?
Right. Right. They roasted me for the rest of the show. We couldn't even move on topics. You know how y'all know how the Knicks at Night podcast turns into the Knox at Night podcast? How we get hijacked and talk about the same topic, or how the Knicks Morning Drive used to get hijacked by Frank Talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I said 42 and 30, and we could not move off that topic. We could not move off that topic.
Wow.
That's hand to the man. I said 42 and 30.
42 and 30. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And this is before we had Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly.
Right? Really?
Yeah.
Even I wasn't going that crazy in this season.
Right. And so if y'all remember the draft. Remember the draft was like right before the season started. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you had the draft and then you had 4 months and then a season. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you draft in June and then you play in October. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, so my thing was, I think Tom Thibodeau can at the time, I thought Tom Thibodeau could outcoach most NBA coaches. And my argument for us going 42 and 30 was this. How do you feel comfortable against Tom Thibodeau going up against Steve Nash head to head? This is before they had Harden now. Yeah. Right? Before they had Harden. Which coach would you take, Steve Nash or Tom Thibodeau?
Oh, Tom, of course.
Right. What coach would you take? JB Bickerstaff or Tom Thibodeau?
Tom.
Right. So you can go down this list of coaches versus Tom Thibodeau, and you like, yo, I like Tom Thibodeau versus, all those guys. Yeah. There were certain guys that I thought Tom Thibodeau couldn't beat. Like I think Tom Thibodeau is not as good of a coach as Brad Stevens, right? And the reason why I say that is because Brad Stevens does something with that whiteboard that's magic, and Brad Stevens has that fatherly relationship with dudes around his own age that you can't replicate. Tom Thibodeau don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jason Tatum's having a bad game, Brad Stevens will go to him and talk to him like, "Hey man, remember, you're the franchise." You know what I'm saying? When Fizdale went to Kevin Knox, he cussed him out like Knox had touched his wife or something. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so I was like, yo, Brad Stevens, like legit, if Cornerstone Kev is having a bad shooting night, or somebody they're fouling, the game plan is to foul Cornerstone Kev, Brad Stevens will go grab you by the wrist. Kev, remember, this is one game, man. Remember, you the franchise. One of these days, your numbers is gonna be up in the roster. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But Fizdale was like, Kevin Knox, you pushed my mama down in the snow, cussing them out. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Tom Thibodeau is the kind of coach that ignores you to the point where your relationship will get strained, and then he'll force himself to come to you and be like, I love you, kid, and walk out the room. You know what I'm saying? So that'll grate on people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like somebody. Yeah. So that's the reason why I said 42 and 30. And then plus I expected. I saw the breakout by Frank Ntilikina at the end of the season, and I saw the breakout by RJ Barrett at the end of the season, and I thought both would carry that over to this season. And one did. Yeah. So Frank, people forget about what Frank looked like at the end of the season.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
That was my thing.
His doctors, though. Not
at all. And that was the thing that and see, Freaky, that was the one thing I kept trying to defend towards the end of the season, but we didn't see that this year. We didn't see it. Kev, so I can't defend it no more. I can't.
Kev, you're not on the frame back. You just said you're not on the frame back.
He very well might be. Oh, like he might be Jordan right now. I can't see it because he's never on the court.
I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I can't evaluate what I don't see. Period.
Exactly.
Y'all killing me with the Frank slander.
We can be upset at everything that Elfrid Payton does, but he's still playing.
You know what I'm saying?
And coach trusts
his groin is intact.
Yes.
I'm just
and he's not afraid.
Frank no more.
He's not afraid. He's not afraid.
I don't have nothing against Frank.
Man, so you saying Frank is afraid? Y'all killing me with the Frank slander, man. Y'all killing me with the Frank slander.
You know what you're trying to do? You try to start something up. You want to be starting something. You want to be starting something. What's that song by Michael Jackson? You want to be starting something? That's what you're trying to do.
Hey, Freaky.
I see what you're doing, Freaky.
Did we legit have a wide open and respectable conversation about Elfrid Payton? Did I not tell you how I feel about Elfrid Payton? Right.
Well, I just got on. What did you say? Just real quick. What did you say?
So I basically told Freaky that I would
the hell out of me.
I would say I say to Freaky that listen, you gotta respect Elfrid Payton's game because this is not now. It's not like 6 or 7 game sample size. Now we're talking about 18, 19, 20 games.
29 games, bro.
29 games. 29
games, bro. Like we in the season. It's almost over.
No, I'm talking about Elfrid Payton. I'm not talking about the Knicks. I'm talking about Elfrid. I'm talking about Elfrid Payton's impact on winning. Right? Yeah. Elfrid Payton's impact on winning is not a small sample size. He legit impacts winning for this team.
Yeah.
Right. And it's about time that we realize it. I didn't want to. I'm telling you. You're hearing this out of my own mouth. I did not want to give Elfrid Payton credit for anything, right? I told y'all with a straight face, the only thing Elfrid Payton can do for me is show me where another point guard is at.
Yes, you've said that on many occasions,
and I meant it.
I respect a guy's ability to look beyond their own biases or like whatever they've built before, and to actually see correction or to see like where they've been wrong. I think a lot of times in these Knicks discussions that we have, like there are cats who know that their point is no longer valid that they're making about a guy, but they continue like they'll nitpick to try to find other things just so that like they don't have to concede the actual fact that like, oh, this guy isn't as bad as you were saying.
Right. Because it's not about the topic, it's about being right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's Chuck all the way. That's Chuck all the way.
It's Chuck, but it's a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys. I know dudes like we'll be on the thread, Freezy, sometimes like, and I get the feeling that cats would rather have the team lose than them be wrong.
Yeah,
right.
Man.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So there was a dude on the thread that said he would have taken Jarrett Culver over RJ Barrett. Remember that? Remember the conversation we had?
No, man, I didn't, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, RJ Barrett can't shoot, man. Jarrett Culver gives you positional versatility and blah, 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 blah. The dude was like huffing and puffing and all kind of stuff. And I was like, well, if he was that good, how come he didn't get drafted right after RJ? Right?
Yeah.
Or drafted before RJ, right? They don't see his upside, blah, blah, blah. Going to the Timberwolves, man, you're going to see. And Jarrett Culver is absolutely trash, right? And so I'm like, hey, dog, you remember that time that you said Jarrett Culver? And he is like,
what is that?
Uncle Freezy, you always want to be right. I'm
no, it's not being right. It's what we see.
Right.
And see, exactly. Like, it's like this ain't about being right. Like that's the only part of it. Like, yo, it's about you not understanding that you were wrong.
Right. Because he was on the thread watching every game, every time RJ Barrett made a mistake. I'm talking about every missed shot, every blown assignment, every turnover. He would be on the threads like, see what I tell you about RJ Barrett, right? and so when we brought up the thing about Jarrett Culver, he finally was like, yo, I was wrong about Jarrett Culver, but Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be better than RJ Barrett. And I'm like, dog, stop spinning your wheels in wrongness. If you're wrong, admit you're wrong and move on.
Just wear it, yo.
Here are two things that I was wrong about. One about, of course, Frank, and two about Mikal Bridges was not better than than Kevin Knox. I was totally wrong about that, because I think if Mikal Bridges was on this team right now, a lot of the well,
Mikal is playing with a point guard right now that actually and we're seeing the same thing with Obi, and that's that's really like, I have to actually shout out Jarrell for that on the on our thread, because he's been saying that, like, yo, like, Obi needs a point guard. Like, Obi's not trash. He just needs a point guard. And like, and Derrick Rose is proving that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the same thing. That's the same thing with your guy, who you just mentioned.
Knox.
Yeah.
And no, Mikal Bridges.
Yo, what you call is open him up.
Well, see, Free Keith, the thing about it is, Rose is out. He's going out of his way to look for him. Where Rivers wasn't doing that at all. How many times did Rivers dribble into the paint and then dribble back out?
Yeah.
Come on.
But that's not. See, that's not totally his fault.
What's up, Evergreen?
And so Sports Vibes TV did a breakdown video of it, like how we were blaming quickly.
Yeah.
But we should have been blaming is the players on the court low basketball IQ. Like when Quickly turns the corner from the screen, is looking for Obi for Obi to catch, do the power dribble and finish.
Yeah.
You got Nerlens Noel in the way standing there.
Yeah.
Right. So now Quickly got to go dribble more and look around Noel, and Noel won't move because he's a big. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And then when the play is not there, Noel backs up to the 3-point line as the outlet for the pass, and he's not a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
So now you like, okay, I'm trying to find Obi, but then Kevin Knox cuts the baseline, and now he's in the way of Obi. So now you got all these clunky parts trying to work together, and then
there'll be times when Obi is be wide open. He ain't no short guy. You could see Obi. There'll be times he be wide open under the basket.
Yeah, yes.
Right under the basket, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
but dog,
that should never happen under any circumstance. Like,
but when you got Alec Burks with the greenest light ever, he's not looking for Obi. Because listen, basketball players know this. When your big is under the basket with his chest facing the ball and his shoulders parallel to the baseline, you
and
throw
nobody
him the
around
ball.
him.
Right, you pass him the ball. You know why? Because he only gets that position. When he's wide open. Yep. If a man is there, he's got to position his body to seal. But But when a center or a big show you their numbers, show you their chest, that means stop what you're doing and throw that person the ball. Right.
Get him the ball.
Right.
And that's one thing that Derrick Rose is doing.
Right.
That's one thing Derrick Rose is doing. Like he'll see Obi wide open, whether it's for a lob or for alley-oop or even for a shot, and he'll work his way to get him the ball.
Right.
Again, that's something Rivers wasn't doing, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're successful.
Burks.
Or Burks too. Absolutely.
I have no problem with either one of those. Like they are right, but neither one of them are Derrick Rose. So
no, heck no.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like just Derrick Rose's knowledge of the game is, I think, valuable. Like his experience on in those kind of situations, it's valuable for the team.
Right.
Y'all ain't notice how much we look like a whole different not
team.
To say that we were playing bad, but we look like a step above now that he's been here. And I'm not even saying like his play specifically, but I really think he's having an influence on us acting looking like a more professional team.
A Free Keith, if we had him from the beginning, with Elfrid still starting, and we had Rose, I guarantee you, a lot of those losses we had this year, we probably wouldn't have had.
Oh, hell yeah! Oh, we'd be over 500 right now.
Yeah, we'd be over 500.
I think it's
that last game, that one game that we won, I know it, that first game that he was here, we would have probably won if he was here for practice and we lost by 2 points. They were in the finals. Miami was in the finals. We lost by 2 points.
Don't start the Miami thing. You know
That was taken away from us. That was taken away from us. Both of them.
Right.
Both of them.
And so last night, I'm gonna tell y'all this, man, and y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but
you saw the tweet I sent you, right? You saw that tweet I sent you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so the thing is, that chick, the female ref, the Lisa Stansfield's looking chick. She has an Instagram. Yo, hey, Free Keith, you know I'm not lying. If you watched the game last night, you legit
man,
know.
I hate you, yo. I really hate you sometimes, bro.
But I'm saying, Lisa Stansfield has an extra grind against the Knicks.
I don't even know her. I don't even know her.
Right. When you see, I'm telling you, when you see Lisa Stansfield out there, you know she gonna blow the whistle every chance she get against.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, Evergreen, what you say, man? What did you say earlier? Can you hear me? Evergreen, you said something earlier. What did you say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's more than just like what he actually does on the floor, and it's more of the idea of what he can do. And I want to use this play as an example, right? The second Emmanuel Quickly 3 on the right wing, right?
Yeah.
So Derrick Rose got the ball from a give and go pass, and there was nothing there when he drove to the paint, and he ended up taking the ball baseline, right? He took the ball all the way baseline, got all the way to the left wing, and all 4 Atlanta players, with the exception of the guy that was leaking on Quickly, all 4 of them faded all the way to Derrick Rose. And he did not, go look at that play again. He didn't have a play at all. Like, there was nothing there for him, and everybody rushed him. Even with 2 men on him, everybody rushed, he didn't have a play. He gave the ball up. He pushed the ball right back to him in the same spot. But just the fact that he gave the ball up, it spread that defense out a little bit, and he was able to bullet that pass.
Yeah, I saw that.
Quickly, right?
Yes.
So
that comes with experience.
I think of like it's the experience too, but it's like the nostalgia of knowing who Derrick Rose is and what he was capable of doing. Because you have absolutely no reason for 4 players on any given night to all collapse on Derrick Rose on the
fact.
Yeah.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
All 4.
Facts.
I can't remember who. I think the only person that wasn't there was who's the guy that played with Chicago before, or that played with Minnesota before with all that hair.
Jackie Noah? Noah? Not Noah.
Oh, no. The dark skinned dude. What? Oh my God, I can't. He's on Atlanta right now.
Oh, he's on Atlanta right now.
Capella?
No. Oh my God, there's a dude that they were.
What position does he play?
I think he's small forward. I think he's their small forward. But anyway.
Reddish?
No, not Reddish. No, not Reddish.
No, he played with Chicago. He played on that. He either played on that Chicago team or Minnesota team. Anyway, that was the only person that didn't leak. It was only
Tony Snell.
Solomon Hill.
We're missing it. Is it Hill?
Solomon Hill.
Anyway,
you said he had a lot of hair, right?
You guys are getting too deep into the details. Anyway, there was only
you brought it up.
Yeah, you brought it up.
I'm saying. But I can't remember the guy's name, but it's not the important detail. It's not an important detail. My point is there was only one person that didn't leak, and you got 4 players that were guarding 2 players on the left wing.
Okay.
They completely collapsed on Derrick Rose for what he can do. And all Derrick Rose did was he spread them out a little bit by passing the ball back to Alec Burke, and Alec Burke gave it right back to him. And as soon as he got that ball back, Derrick Rose bulleted that ball across the other side of the court all the way to Quickly. And it's not because of, Derrick Rose's shooting ability, because that's the only reason that you would collapse like that and try to trap. You know that there's a guy that's a shooter and you don't want him to split the defense. But 4 players did that. 4 players did that.
Right.
So
I agree with you.
It's like on a coaching standpoint, what in the right mind would make sense for 4 players to collapse on one side to guard 2, other than to trap the ball, right? Other than
who's not a top 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And he's not a top 3-point shooter. So my point is like everyone's like, oh man, Derrick Rose is this guy that can still split defenses, so we gotta stop him from splitting. And then
hey, I'll be right back, y'all.
It's 4 players on one side. So it's the idea of what Derrick Rose, what his capability is.
Yeah,
I'll go you one further.
Right.
I'll go you one further, and I it's weird that you mentioned that because I agree with that. And it's something else that I noticed that first game that he played right off the plane, no shoot around, no practice, nothing. And RJ went 5 for 14, and Randall went 5 for 18. And I was like, I really think that guys had a bad shooting night, really, because they were kind of trying to impress Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like I was watching the game and I was like, like it's looking like they really trying to make themselves look good for Rose. Like I feel like he is actually like there's some intimidation there, like some big broness. Like, oh, I want my big bro to think that I'm nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
I felt like they were playing like that.
What Quickly and Obi said, like, yo, the first day, you know, he came by and he spoke to us. You know,
and he told them that I'm here for y'all.
Right.
And then that was enough. They might not have got it that first game, but by the second game, you know, with Miami, the second game they're probably like, okay, this is what we got to do. But by the third game, you start seeing, you know, Obi being a lot more involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obi sprinting up the court. Like I think Obi might have been my secret for yesterday's game, like my Swiss Army knife. Like there was so much stuff that he was doing off the ball, you know, that really, like, there was a couple screens that he set where he was the last man back, sprint up, set a screen, and then you know he rolled into the basket, and it forced other players to fade on him and open a lane up for Derrick Rose. You know, and then he did that a couple times with, you know, in the first few plays with Randall at 5. You know, so it's just the idea. It's the idea of what we know Derrick Rose is, quote unquote, secretly capable of. That's making all these other teams a little leery of what he can do. And it's not even that and you know what? Not for nothing, those teams weren't leery of him when he was in Detroit.
Right.
He was still getting years 14. They weren't leery of him in Detroit. But now that they know, oh man.
They know what Rose is. They know what Rose is with Tibbs. That's what they know when Rose is with Tibbs.
Yeah, I agree.
Like we gotta watch this guy, because not only does he got the green light. Think of it like this, right? He's got the green light to do what he wants to. So it's like, you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go. But what happens if that dude on that green light just stops? He just slams on the brakes. Everybody crashes into him, and he just gets out of the lane right away. You know what I mean? And then he's safe, but everybody else is fumbling and smashing into each other. 38-car pile up, and before you know it,
Rose still got that. He still got that stop on a dime ability.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He still got that.
He's got a quick first step. And because he's got that quick first step, teams are like, all right, let's. When he gets across, when he gets that 17 feet, we got to step up to that 3-point line.
Yes.
He's at 17 feet. We got to step up. We got to push out.
You got to, because he could still get it. He could still get into the paint in no time flat.
Right.
I mean, he did it right after he did it. What was it? That kid Mays, I think his name is, from Atlanta. That was for Trae Young. That kid had like 6 straight points. Right?
Yeah.
He had like 6 straight points. We hit a back. I want to say he had 4 straight. He had two buckets back to back. Derrick Rose gave a pass to Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock had a bucket. The kid came back down the lane and shot another one. So that was 6 straight points. And Derrick Rose was like, forget this, I'm going to show him who I am. And he bolted down the court with the ball, coast to coast, and had a layup. And I was like, y'all might want to, like, the vet in him is like, y'all might want to step and get in this boy's face. Y'all might want to. As soon as they did that, I want to say it was a few plays.
And then they started playing him differently.
Yes.
Yeah, they had to play him differently.
Yeah, they had to play him differently and everything.
Rose was definitely definitely an understated great pickup, and I think that might have actually like been the thing that cemented our season, really. Right now,
I think so. I think so too. Because you think about
imagine this, like and I'm gonna harp on this because to me that this makes this is why I kind of like people were like, oh, you trust Tibbs and Leon way too much. But this is the kind of moves that make me trust Leon. Like, yo, like none of us spoke up when we heard the news that they were interested in trading for Rose. In all of our fan discussions and this, that, and the other, nobody even said anything about DSJ being part of that trade. Why? Because we didn't think that would be enough. Like that couldn't be a person. Like Leon couldn't get that off.
Yeah.
What does Leon turn around and do? Trades for Rose for a bag of friggin' chips, yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dude, I am not questioning. Like I'm not questioning
either. I'm not
anything going forward, yo. This dude is a deal maker.
Yeah. I'm not questioning them at all. They've earned my trust.
They earned my trust.
They've literally earned my trust.
Tibbs told Rose, like, yo, I need D Rose. I need D Rose on my squad. You please figure out a way to get it. Leon was like, all right, hold my beer.
Basically. I gotta say, man, I still don't believe that Knicks fans are believing what they're seeing.
You know what?
I still don't believe that they believe what they're seeing.
I agree with you, but I also understand why. I can understand our trepidation because we've had seasons where we started out seasons pretty well and like, you know what I'm saying? Like our fire got up like, oh, this is the season. And then back to regular Knicks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That first year that we got KP.
Yeah.
The first few games.
Yeah.
When we lost the first, I feel like we lost the first one or the first two or first three, something like that. And then Jared Jack came in and we won the next three. And then everybody was like, yeah, we back. And then back to being the Knicks again.
Yeah.
Back to being the Knicks again.
Absolutely.
So like I understand people's kind of like standoffishness, like you don't want to be hurt again. I dig it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very abusive relationship being a Knicks fan. Like we're in an abusive relationship. It's fact.
But sometimes you gotta take a walk on faith too.
They went to go get some counseling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be better. It's better now. Like they in therapy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they working out their anger issues. We having a better relationship now.
Man.
Like
even the Israelites left Egypt, you know? They thought it would never come. They were in bondage for like what, 400 years and everything? And they finally, you know.
I don't know if you was one of the trade Randall cats.
Say again?
I don't know if you was one of the trade Randall cats.
In the very, very, very beginning, when we got Obi, that's what I was like.
How tight would you have been right now?
Very, very, very. Because you're going to ask yourself, why didn't you do that here? You know, why did you do that here? But again, that's why you have a competent management to say, chill out. We got this. Yo, the fact that these mofos don't talk to the media, like anything that we hear in terms of speculation, it comes from the other side. Like we're not hearing nothing from Rose and his people. Clamps down. Nothing. You ain't hearing nothing. Somebody said you heard it from Rose. You lying. Lying. He ain't say nothing. Exactly.
He ain't tell you nothing. Ain't nobody in that Worldwide West. None of them. Nobody told you nothing. Sources say. You making it up.
Yeah, you're making it up.
Who you talking to? The ball boy? Because that's the only one talking.
Exactly.
And I love that. And that cats don't really understand. Like, that's the recipe. Like, we got to move in silence, yo. Like,
yeah, we have to
stick to your plan. Don't let fans be the fourth person in the room. Like, just I love what the front office is doing this year, and I love it.
It's doing. It really is.
It would have been the most Knicks thing in the world to have traded Randall at the beginning of the season.
Oh, absolutely. Because they hear what the fans say. They hear what the
if this was last season, Randall would have been traded at the beginning. If we had the staff from last year, Randall would be doing this work on another team right now.
Well, here's the thing: when we would
have had 2 picks, we would have had a couple picks and some cap space, maybe.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: when we were going through that losing streak, what happened that night? Management came out, Mills and Perry came out and threw, which is probably rightfully so, but it was the way that they went about it. Threw Fizz under the bus and everything. Why? Because he had to try and appeal to us. I mean, to the fans. And this management right here is saying, listen, we doing this way. We don't care what we're saying right now. We're trying to put out a product that you could be proud of.
Rose is like, you know what the fans will love? Fans will love the wins. Don't worry about that. The fans will be all right. They'll be all right when they get the wins. I ain't telling them nothing because I don't want no fan pressure. I don't want nothing on my neck, but they'll appreciate the wins. And that's what is funny because I used to really ride for Mills. I was definitely a Millsrelite, as they call us. They call them on the
Millsrelites unite.
Until that press conference. When they did that, when they came on, I was like, I see who you are for real. You just a Dolan surrogate. We can't. We need to get you going. We need people that's gonna be totally. And that's what I hated about Phil. You remember when before Phil even got here, the media was talking about how he don't talk to the media, and like when he got here, like they was so mad. He's not saying anything. He's not talking to the media. All the drama happened when he started talking to the media.
Yep. He gave in.
Work your plan. Work it from the background. Forget fans. Forget media. I don't even care if I don't like your moves. Let me talk to other fans about that and gripe about that. Right. It should not have any play in what your plans are. Right. And I love that that's what's going on right now. Right.
And I think right now the media can't accept us not talking to them.
Right. Hey, let me introduce something to y'all. Right. I just want to introduce this thing because Cornerstone Kev introduced something to me and I legit could not get over it. Like when he threw Frank Ntilikina away, it was just something that I just can't.
Yeah, that was surprising. I didn't expect to hear that this morning either, but
because
I mentioned him for it though.
It is what it is, man.
Right.
It is
right. Because I remember at the mere mention of something negative towards Frank Ntilikina, Cornerstone Kev would have a meltdown. Meltdown. Right? A meltdown. Like we couldn't even move forward. But
you been for at least a 5-minute rant.
Uncle Freezy and Uncle Freaky. In my defense, I had no problem with the critical part, with being critical of his game. What I had a problem with, and I have a problem with that with all our players, I don't like the bashing. That he sucks. He's sorry. He's this. He's
No, we
he's
know
that. That's what I have a problem with, and I'll defend anybody for that. I defended Ron Baker.
Me too. I feel you on that. And people who don't like Ron Baker, I can tell the kind of basketball that they like. They don't like the spirit. They don't like the spirit of New York basketball. They just like Ron Baker to me. Like I still to this day you need a Ron Baker on your team to get a championship. You need that guy.
Exactly. So that, but and then in that retrospect, when they said that they had to cut somebody for Trier.
Yeah.
I was with it. I said, he's got to go.
And now that you look back on it, you're like, do we really need to cut Ron Baker for Trier?
Well, we didn't need either one of them at the time. Now looking back at them, we need Ron Baker now, though. Now is when you need a Ron Baker.
Right. So here's the
when you a playoff team and you need that scrappy heart. Like, Ron Baker he really risked his life and cats clowned him for it.
Yeah, man. I remember.
Cats clowned him. He had the most love of anybody in the league. Like, that dude put his life on the line.
Right.
Trying to block AD. Almost lost his life at the damn joint. Who else in the league was even attempting that? LeBron wouldn't even attempt that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Dude, I was like, this dude got the heart of a lion. Cats was clowning him for it.
Right. he had the heart of a lion in a squirrel body.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is the heart.
I've seen Chihuahuas back down pit bulls.
Right.
I've seen it.
Exactly.
Right. So here's the thing that I wanted to get to. So first of all, in case y'all didn't notice, the Knicks are 3-1 with Derrick Rose and are on a 3-game winning streak. Right?
I'm gonna say 4.
I'm
gonna say 4-0 because that Miami game was taken away from us. Man.
Right? And so here's the other part too that I was trying to get to. Right? So not only has the Knicks improved, but their scoring went from 102 per game, right? 102 and a half when before Derrick Rose, to 116 per game.
What?
With Derrick Rose. Yeah. With Derrick Rose.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, and so
keep that low.
So here's the data. Miami 98-96, right? So the Knicks scored 96 points.
Yeah.
The Wizards, they scored 109. The Rockets, they scored 121. The Hawks, they scored 123. So you see the incline in scoring over the past 4 games just by adding a Derrick Rose, right? And this is not a storyline. And so for those of y'all in the chat, this is the type of stuff that we want to talk about on the Knicks Morning Drive and the Knicks at Night podcast. Not Elfrid Payton can't shoot, but other stories, right? Yeah. Like the improvement of the Knicks offense just by one dude walking in the door, right? So now that you have the data to support what I just said, right?
Yeah.
Do you think the Knicks need to add another piece? And listen, I want y'all to go. I want you to go. If the Knicks should add another piece, tell me to what extent, right? Tell me to what degree that player is, and even tell me who you think it should be. And I can start off with it if y'all don't mind, right? Okay. What I would say is we need to add a wing player like Jay Crowder. Not Jay Crowder himself, but a wing player like Jay Crowder that'll take those scrub minutes from RJ Barrett and Alec Burke at the 3, right?
RJ Barrett. Yeah.
RJ Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Alec Burke.
You mean Reggie Bullock and Burks?
No. I mean a second unit, small forward. So you won't have to force those guys to play minutes at the 3. Is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But because is it forcing Bullock to play those minutes at the 3? Because I feel like Bullock is kind of a 3.
I don't know. And so
I feel like he's an honest to God 3. Like he's an honest to, like he might not hit the shots all the time, but like defensive wise, like he has no problems defending the wings.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question, Keith. If we was to acquire, these guys silent assassins, right? If we was to acquire Zach LaVine, would you think he will start? Because we do need a wing, or
if we acquired Zach LaVine and he's not starting within the first 3 games, then we shouldn't have traded for Zach LaVine.
If he ain't starting day one,
that's a problem.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give it 3 games just in case Tibbs want to,
you're giving him 3 games.
I'm giving him 3 games. But like if it's after 3 games and he's not starting, then why did we trade for LaVine?
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
It's one thing to do it for Rose. It's another thing to do it for Zach LaVine.
He's too young to not like. He's too young and good to not because the assets that we'd have to give up to get a Levine is not going to be light.
Yeah.
If we're doing all that for somebody who's not starting,
right?
Yeah.
I'm cool with trading DSJ for somebody coming off the bench. I don't even care if it's Rose.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not cool with trading first round picks and this talent and that talent for a dude who's going to be coming off the second unit. Now,
I'll give you two players that. Well, first of all, here two things. Number one,
okay,
I don't mind us staying pat. I really don't. If Liam Rose and them don't do anything by the trading deadline, I'm good.
I agree with you.
I am totally good.
And when is the trade deadline, Kev? When is the trade deadline?
March 25th.
March 25th, yeah.
Okay.
March 25th. If they don't do anything, I'm good. You know why? Because you've already satisfied the I'll say the point guard situation for the second unit with getting Derrick Rose. You've satisfied that. Right. So I'm good. Right. Now, if they did, two players that I would like to see, you talk about a wing, Uncle Freeze, right. Two players, and Sim mentioned it yesterday. I wouldn't mind a Terrence Ross.
Right. Shout out to Terry and Trey, by the way.
Yo,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind Terrence Ross, and I wouldn't mind because he's just like Terrence Ross, but I know they're not going to give him up. I wouldn't mind a Willie Barton from Denver.
Barton, ooh,
yeah, I wouldn't mind. Their games are just alike, except I think Barton is just a little bit more defensively, sound than Terrence Ross is.
I think we're actually
that's what we did. That's
I like those two picks.
Yeah.
I like those two guys.
Because you're talking about wings.
Yeah, I like those two guys that you mentioned, and I like them even more because as the days are going by, I'm starting to realize I don't know if I even want we don't even need really to be aiming for these star caliber players
Well, they stars? Are they stars really?
No. That's why I said. That's why.
Okay.
I like who you're saying there. We don't need to. I would love to get Levine, but for what it would cost to get Levine, I don't know if I would want to lose that for him. But it could still work out. But it'll be a heavy kind of lift.
And the same thing with Oladipo too.
And Oladipo, and I love Oladipo. I'm one of his biggest fans. I would love to see him here. But again, what you got to pick up, what you got to trade for him might not it might not work out I think.
Right.
Picking up somebody like a Terrence Ross.
Right.
You're 100% right.
Right.
That won't take nothing. That won't
take nothing at all. And Oladipo is going to be Oladipo is going to be a free agent next year, right?
And exactly. If we want him next year, we can get him next year. But these guys, you put them in Tibbs' system, and they're giving you the defense. They're giving you what you call we're winning games, and that's it. This year more than any other year, I'm really not interested in star names. I'm really liking Tibbs to me is my star.
Yes,
he's my star.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
I kept telling people when I heard that we got him. I was like, "Oh, we're going to the playoffs." I said, "We're going. We're going."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Terrence Ross would be that cheap though.
Really?
For real? I mean,
he's in Orlando, right?
Yeah, child. Yeah.
Okay.
He ain't gonna be as expensive as Levine.
Nah, he ain't. Nah.
But he's a bench player though, right?
Exactly.
No. He is a quality sixth man. He would be starting if there was not for Evan Fournier, and if his offense was consistent.
He would start on our team. He definitely would start on our team.
The dude is legit like J.R. Smith. He's only the sixth man because but he's not on the bench because he's a bench player. Basically, is what I'm getting at. He's a valuable rotation piece.
Stands the Hennessy.
Yes. Yes.
JR, right? That's what we got called Henny for now on. JR.
Let me get a shot.
I'm on that JR, baby.
Yeah, man.
Let me get a shot of JR, baby.
So what I was getting at is when I mentioned the uptick in offense. When I mentioned the uptick in offense, right? What I wanted everybody to realize is so what's up, Anthony D? Devon, what's good? Devon, why you running from the Lawrence Tears debate challenge?
Ooh, called out.
Devon, why you
on TV?
Devon, if you scared, get a very, very, very big dog.
Uncle Freeze,
right.
I keep telling people you gotta know when to. What was that? That song at the beginning? The chorus.
When to hold them.
Know when to pull them.
Know when to pull them.
Walk away. Know when to run. That's why I'll never enter that debate thing. I'll never.
Right. And so and so what I was going Anthony
Breezy hiding me.
Now, hey, I am not accepting your application.
Yeah, we got you in the back room, baby.
I don't know why Breezy hiding me. He's saving these young cats, yo. He's saving them.
Dog, what I'm saying is I'm not accepting your application. Right? It's not that I don't want you to get it in. It's no.
He won't let me destroy some of these.
Hold on, Jamie Perlotta says we need to trade Mitch Knox, 23 first round pick from Dallas to for Cat, and trade for Buddy Hill.
He said for who? For Carl Anthony Towns?
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna work well.
That's not gonna work well at all.
Yeah.
Why do people keep mentioning Carl Anthony Towns coming to New York? That dude is soft batch cookies, bro. Like,
you're gonna find that out. You're gonna find that out.
In the worst place in the world for him. This is the worst place in the world.
So you gonna put
him and Knox be on Fortnite together.
So you gonna put that under a microscope? So the dude is soft, and so instead of letting him stay in Minnesota in obscurity, you gonna bring it here and put it under a microscope.
Oh,
no, thank you.
Wait, who was it? It was Charles Smith. Who was the dude who couldn't get up to the hoop?
Charles Smith.
That's what y'all asking for with Cole Anthony Towns. That's exactly what y'all asking for.
Yeah,
right.
Anybody wanting Cat here?
Right.
And plus, his mind is not right anyway. He lost his mom to COVID and everything.
Oh no, his mom. He lost 7 people in his family to COVID.
His mind is not right.
God bless. Sorry.
His mind is not. His mind is not right. And for him to bring him here to this, that's not the right time. Nope.
Nah, yeah.
And Tibbs ain't. I don't think Tibbs believes in no Cat. And if he don't believe in him, then I'm good.
Right.
Well,
remember, Jimmy Butler wild out on them in practice.
So freaky. Let me ask this.
And what happened after that? Where did the Timberwolves go after that? Like
down the drain.
Right. He proved them. He proved himself right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing I wanted to get to before we wrap up today. I'm gonna probably hang out for like 10 more minutes before I go ahead and crash. So the Knicks are scoring right now the past 3 games like a top 10 offense. If you couple now here's a hypothetical. If you couple that top 10 offense hypothetically with a top 5 NBA defense, how far can this team go?
Say it again. I'm sorry, Uncle Free. Can you say that again?
Can I say that that's definitely an Eastern Conference championship team, definitely a finals team. Top 5. You said top 5 defense and top 5 offense?
No, top 10 offense. And a top 5 offense of late, and a top 10 offense of late, and an established top 5 defense all season.
That's a
before you answer Keith, and can you also add this in because I think there's 8 games left to the half of the season. So you know what I'm saying? How would that correlate? You think we're gonna get 6-2 or 4-4 in that same question? I don't know.
Who we got coming up? Who we got?
I don't know, but the thing is a top 5 defense and a top 10 offense, regardless who you play.
I think that's a finals competitive team. That's a finals competitive team.
If we keep this pace, you're saying.
I hate to say that because like I know Cass is gonna be like, oh, you're a homer or this, that, and the other. But if we're going straight by the numbers and the statistics, if we keep this right here, if we keep this pace that we're going right here, that's a team that can compete for the finals.
Wow.
Okay, so our next games we're away at the Magic in Orlando.
Oh, we're eating their food. That's ours.
Okay. We're home on Sunday for the Timberwolves because
eating their food.
Wait. I'm sorry. Saturday we're home for the Spurs. And then
but we don't know if we're gonna play that game because of COVID protocol with the Spurs.
Right. So I'll take that out. I'll take that out. So Sunday we're home for the Timberwolves. On Tuesday we're home for Golden State.
Ooh, that might be a tough one. Okay.
On Thursday we're home for the Kings.
Oh, we gotta eat that food.
Yeah,
gotta eat their food.
On Saturday we're home for February 27th. On Saturday we're home for the Pacers.
They never win in a game against us again.
Okay. And then the next day, on that Sunday, we're at the Pistons.
W.
Yo,
they
how many
tanking.
games you just listed? That was 6 games?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was 6. And then number 7 is we're away for San Antonio. That's on a Tuesday, March 2nd.
5 out of those 7 is ours. Mark my words.
Which losses you giving us?
On the maybe side, San Antonio and Golden State.
Really? I don't know about the Warriors. I think we can beat the Warriors.
No. I said maybe. Maybe. I'm saying like those are the maybes. Like to me, I'll give the Golden State. I feel like we could beat them, but I'm gonna give the.
I'm gonna do this real quick because I think these dudes are dodging my question. Did y'all notice how they dodged my question? I asked them straight up, like Cornerstone Kev, how far do you think this team can go with a projected top 10 offense and an established top 5 defense? And Kev dodged the question. I think it's because Cornerstone Kev is nervous. But don't tell Kev I said that now. Don't tell Cornerstone Kev I said that, right? But a projected top 10 offense, and that's the arc we're on based on the last 3 games, and our top 5 defense, that's what we've been all season long. I'm going to bring these guys back in and see if I can direct them to answer, because I think they may be intimidated by the prospect of the Knicks making a deep run in the playoffs. I'm going to bring them back.
Not intimidated. Not intimidated.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Eastern Conference Finals.
Eastern Conference scared to be wrong.
Eastern Conference
scared to be wrong. They know that they want to say that.
I heard you trying to say it. Yeah, chump. Eastern Conference Finals, darn it. I'm going to put it out there. Eastern Conference Finals. And let the chips fall where they may.
Right. No, I asked that question because when I asked, y'all immediately were like, hey, so who's on the schedule? Right? And even Chop was like, hey, I hear the question, but I don't want to answer it. Let me know. Yeah, hey, you see how Chop tried to change the question? Chop was like, no.
Hey, here's the thing. We can go to Eastern Conference Finals and we still won't get the respect from the media. And Knicks fans will still won't believe that of what's going on.
Right.
That's how fickle some of these Knicks fans can be, man.
Dude, I'm on threads right now where Cats is still contemplating trading Randall. So yes, I'm not even.
Right.
I'm not understanding how toxic Knicks fans are.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. And the reason why I asked this is because we had a conversation last week about what it takes for a team to make a serious playoff run.
Right.
And so everybody was like, man, you got to have a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense to even be in a conversation.
Oh, well, you pull up the stats.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like how stats work for everybody else but the Knicks.
Right.
Knicks fans are going to be scared to accept that because we got the same sickness that the rest of the league got. Like as much as we're fans, we still underestimate the Knicks too.
Right.
So those numbers, like, have to look at those stats and be like, I don't know. I don't know how far we can make it. But if you look historically at Cats who make the playoffs and make deep playoffs runs, those are the exact same stats that they got. Oh, it's a top 5 defensive team and a top 5 offensive team.
Well, we meet the criteria. We meet the criteria.
Right, but then the question is, if we make the playoffs, do we get out of the first round?
Oh, if we go
Why not?
We can go to Eastern Conference Finals.
You said finals. Okay.
So changing? Does the coach change for the playoffs? like you know what I'm saying, like the Players Central playoffs, like why can't we beat the top seed or beat the seed that's below us? Because I think that we're gonna be above. I believe that we're gonna be 5th seed or above.
And Sharon M says Kevin Keith are not realists. What are you talking about? Not being realists? We're seeing the eye test right now. What else do we need to do in order to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? What do you? What?
Sherwin is the kind of fan that I was talking about. That's it. Like we're gonna be sitting there. We're gonna be sitting there in the middle of the finals, and he's still not gonna be believing it. Like, oh, like, well, let's wait for Randall to come back down to earth. I'm waiting for Randall to come back down to earth.
You know, I mean, if you're a fan of a team, you're gonna go all out for them. You're gonna go all out for them. You're gonna have all that belief for them. And what we've seen, this isn't last year. This isn't the year before last. This is a whole new, different type of team we're dealing with. A whole new, different type of culture that we have not been accustomed to.
Right.
All right. And so if I say they're gonna go to the Eastern Conference Final, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say the Western. I didn't say the NBA Finals. I didn't say they was gonna win a championship. Eastern Conference Finals. That's a big step for them.
Right.
Like nobody thought those young boys in Boston was going to get to the finals the year that they did their first friggin' year. Why we can't do it? Like fans don't even have faith in what they seeing in their own team. Like we can't do it.
Exactly.
This dude Alwyn, like, Eastern Conference Finals, the Kool-Aid got extra sugar in it. Like he just told you the numbers. If we keep those numbers up, we're a top 5. We're a top 5 defensive team and a top 10 offensive team. Why can't we make the Eastern Conference Finals?
Right. Why? And so the thing is when I posed the question, right? I was thinking I was looking at asking y'all if we maintain this level of offense, can we make it? But then I looked at the numbers. So our points per game have gone up 1.5 in 4 games. Yeah. Are you serious? So what happens if we stay at somewhere between 116, 118, 119? Right? So we won't be the Brooklyn Nets.
Don't want that. The league don't want that.
Right. We won't be the Brooklyn Nets offense, but the Brooklyn Nets won't have our defense.
Yeah. And Uncle Free and Chop. Sharon goes, we're not beating Boston 76ers or Milwaukee. Well, I think we did beat 2 of the 3, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right.
By a lot. By a lot. I think Boston was 30 points. We walked away on Baycourt with 30 points on them. I think that's what we did.
Right.
Fully healthy.
And so the other thing too that I want the virtual chat.
And Giannis still holding a 20-point dub. He's holding a 20-point dub that we gave him.
Right. And so what happens is with the virtual chat is in love with our losses, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're overlooking the losses of those other monsters they can't mention.
Thank you.
Like one of those teams lost to the Raptors. One of those teams lost to Detroit last week.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. To say that the Knicks don't stand a chance when these dudes are losing to the Wizards. I mean, come on now.
I'm watching this gameplay. This is 29 games in. It's not no friggin' fluke. It's not a fluke. We are going out. We have the capability to eat anybody's food at any given time.
I'm
not betting against the Knicks this year.
Yes.
Not betting against us. Like you, Kev, I'm not saying we're going to get the chip or anything this year, but like I bet you money we can make it past the first round.
Yes,
we can make it past the first round.
Absolutely. Right. You got to start putting some respect on Tibbs' name, man. Right. You got to start putting some respect on Tibbs' name because he's been through the fires. He's been through the playoffs.
Showing the playoffs is a different story, and that's why you got a coach like Tibbs to coach every game. What are you talking about?
That's
you sound silly. Like we got the pieces, bro.
That's why these fans
it's time to start believing, Sean. It's time to start believing.
Yeah. They don't want to believe what they're seeing. They don't want to believe what they're seeing.
They're seeing it. The gameplay is reflective of it. The numbers is reflective of it. The percentages is reflective of it. What else you got to see? And we got a top-notch coach. What you got to see more?
Right.
Maybe acquisition of a wing might even bring us further over the top as well, too.
Right, right. So I'm I hate to throw a live grenade in the room and then have to break out. But the thing is, so I'm gonna throw this live grenade in the room before we break out. I got like 2 or 3 minutes, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. I think the Knicks are gonna go. I think the Knicks are gonna finish 42-30 or somewhere in that neighborhood. And here's the reason why.
That's a lot.
Because well, for one, the Knicks have a bona fide all-star, right, and a secondary guy to support him in a starting lineup, and the Knicks probably have the best bench unit in the NBA. Nobody's even close, right? And so
I need to research that though.
Right. And hey, man, and so it's about perspective. Like what I'm looking at is this, right? When Mitch comes back, Noel goes back to the bench, which improves our bench, right? Right. And also now you add a dude in Derrick Rose. You have a Rookie of the Year candidate. You have your first round pick looking like he is being unlocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. The only thing on your bench that stopped you from being successful was guys being inconsistent. Now with Rose here, you removed the inconsistency. You don't have to depend on Austin Rivers. You don't have to depend on Alec Burks. And so what was happening is we were like, man, if we can get something from Rivers or Burks or both, man, we could do something. Now that Rose is here, that question is no longer even a question in a winning equation.
So Free Keith and Uncle Freeze, Sterling goes, if I'm coaching against the Knicks, I'm running a 1-3-1 zone. Press. Really?
And you're going to lose the game.
Thank you.
And you're going to lose the game. Thank you. Thank you. I'd love for you to be coaching against the Knicks. I'd love for you to be. Rose will break down your zone all day. I'd love for you to play again. I'd love for you to coach against the Knicks. Awesome. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. I hope we see you as coach in the first round. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
And so
zone breakup.
And so the thing is people think like the gimmick zones and traps work against every lineup that the Knicks put out on the floor. That is not true. When teams go to the 2-3 zone now, you have you can bring in Derrick Rose, who's not a shooter, but he knows how but he knows how to penetrate, right? He knows how to and manipulate the zone, right? The 2-3 zone is a high school zone. You teach 7th graders the 2-3 zone.
7th graders that.
Right. And in the NBA, when teams go to a 2-3 zone, man, it's eating time, right? Unfortunately, the Knicks didn't have guys that could eat, but now there's a different thing. You can't just focus on quickly.
Now. Like, please play the zone against us so it could be a feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy.
Exactly.
You even got Elf not shooting and still breaking down the zone.
So now
come on, man.
Hey, so now he goes, do you know what a 1-3-1 does?
Yes, we know what a 1-3-1 does. Right? A 1-3-1 trap is designed to trap the wings in the corners. That's why you put 3 guys in the middle of it so they can assist up top and assist down low towards the corners and the wings. Right? That's why you don't run a 2-3 zone, which defends the top of the key. Right? We know that. This is elementary.
Basketball, we're stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really know basketball.
Right. And so the deal is, man. So the deal is we legit think that like gimmick defenses are perplexing our coaching staff. It's not. They just didn't have the personnel at the time to be the personnel combinations to beat it. Now with Derrick Rose, you didn't add a shooter, but you added somebody that can penetrate the zone.
Penetrate.
Right.
That stop on a dime, like Catson's not going to realize how valuable that is. That stop on a dime, pass it out to Quigley for the 3, bang, you're not running the zone again that next play. Guaranteed.
Right. So Anthony D says stay on till noon. Nah, I can't do that, man. I wish. I wish. Nah, man. Yeah, but I got it. Actually, I got it.
Get some sleep, man.
After wins, my blood be up after wins.
Right.
I talk all day.
Right, and the chat, and I love the chat, but the chat think that me operating on 3 hours and 17 minutes of sleep is sustainable. Nah, that's not sustainable, man.
That's not sustainable at all, man. That's not sustainable.
But hey, yo, I'm a get out of here, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all the conversation.
Love you.
Cornerstone Kev. Every time I ask you a question, it's not to troll you. You got to remember, we gotta make the conversation robust.
Yes,
we gotta make the conversation round. We can't we can't just say Alfred Payton can't shoot for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? So,
Uncle Sleazy, can you take us out with that flames that you got?
Yeah,
I knew Chad was about to ask for it. He loved that. He loved that.
I'm about to hit it right now, man. Hey, peace, man. Love y'all, man. Y'all be peaceful
salute,
and safe. I'll holler at y'all.
The chat, salute, love.
Love y'all. Peace, love.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me